Northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you People's State Bank and Grant Regional Health Center coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Faust Electric, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Byten Incorporated, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Claire Bank, Donnie's Tire and Auto, Fuller's Milker Center, Gary's Pest Control, Community First Bank, Guy's Truck and Tractor Service, Hernson's Ace Hardware, Krantz Auto Parts, the Peterson Agency, the Raleigh Cheese House, Mound City Bank, the Russell Law Office, the Shoebox, Sloan Implement, Timmerman's Talents, Tricor Insurance, and Wolf Construction.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to high school football on X1071, X1071.com, and the X1071 mobile app worldwide. And thanks to Tyler bringing the equipment, the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. From Tyler Field at Highland High School, the Williams Bay Bulldogs take on the Highland Cardinals in non-conference 8-player football to overrated from last year, at least their starters, but you'd never know that based on how they played last week.
Yeah, they certainly looked the part so far, and coming away with that big 52-14 win over Monticello last week. And a lot of that scoring done in the first half. 46 of those points, in fact, scored in the first half last week. Kanawasha, a combined 6 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 3 through the air. Didn't have to put in a whole lot of effort for that. It was an outstanding performance by Highland in week 1, able to get their starters in and out and get out of the game relatively injury-free as well. So able to preserve their roster, stay healthy, and come into tonight's big matchup with Williams Bay in week number 2.
The Bulldogs are also coming off a win, but their win was Saturday afternoon when they beat Beaver Dam Wayland Academy. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's very rare to see a team play on a Saturday and then turn around and play on a Thursday.
Yeah, and that quick turnaround, obviously a lot less time to prepare, but you know, these coaches have known what the schedule was going to be. They know what they were getting themselves into, so I'm sure that the conversation has been had about what the preparation is going to look like. And, you know, just given the fact that school isn't in session either, that's another variable in play too. So I think both teams are going to be well prepared and be ready to go for tonight's matchup.
And the other thing that is to Williams Bay advantage is the cool-off that we've had the last week. It wasn't like they were practicing in the 90-degree weather you sometimes get this time of year.
Yeah, we've been pretty spoiled with the weather as of late. The cool down definitely helps, and it's a perfect night for high school football here on this Thursday evening.
Indeed it is. We are broadcasting from the Ayers Furniture Best Seats in the House in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home. For what's sure to be the best seat in your house, be sure to visit Ayers Furniture at ayersfurniture.com. On the Shoebox Scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Well, sadly, earlier this afternoon, the Brewers lost to Arizona 6-4. That was on AM 1590 WPVL, so they ended up splitting the 4-game series with the Diamondbacks before they head to the road for this weekend. Also, on the Queen Bee family of radio stations, we have the beginning of the Badgers season coming up. That is Wisconsin hosting Miami of Ohio, and that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. And the Ridge and Valley 8 tonight, 2 other games. Kickapoo Lafarge is at Oakfield, and Monticello is at Elkhart Lake Glen Beulah. There is one other game that is an 11-player game, and that is Pecatonica Argyle at Waterloo. When we return, the Raleigh Cheese pregame show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County.
Don't forget the cheese.
And we're back in 60 seconds on X107Y.
Pregame 1. From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
Steve Schmidt's Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton has unique team treasures. They have over 25,000 signed sports cards, plus autographed photos, bobbleheads, caps, signed baseballs, and more. That's Steve Schmidt's Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Pregame 1.
All right, Mark Stanek in 3, 2. Welcome to the Raleigh Cheese pregame show on X1071. Williams Bay and Highland in non-conference 8-player football. We're joined by Williams Bay coach Mark Stanek. Thanks for joining us. 2.5 hours from Williams Bay to Highland, right?
It is 2.5 hours. Thank you for inviting me for this conversation tonight. Yeah, it's not as far as some of them in the past, so 2.5 hours, like I said, skipping a jump.
And it's a Thursday night before school starts, so it's not a case where you're going to have kids come back at midnight. You got school tomorrow, fortunately, right?
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate that the second game of the season is falling when the kids don't have to get up on the Friday morning after getting back at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Now, you're coming off a win. First question that comes to mind is, Saturday afternoon game, are you concerned about the short turnaround from Saturday to Thursday?
Always concerned about short turnaround. My guys have been working really hard this week. Thank goodness we got out of there with no injuries. These guys are really putting in the time and they're dedicated, so I'm very happy to get them on the field today. They're ready.
And you're coming off a win. And you really took it to your opponent right off the bat, basically. What worked for you guys Saturday?
What seemed to work is their mindset was, we're going to win. Those guys are ready to attack. They're ready to play. I don't think much is going to hold them back this year.
All right. What stands out about this team as far as you're concerned?
They're very team-oriented. I don't have on this team kids that think they're number one and they are going to win the game for the team. They all play together.
That's good. You got Highland tonight. Of course, the Cardinals got to the state semifinal last year. What about the Cardinals posing the challenge? What do you feel like are the Rosemeyer Wealth Management keys to the game?
Discipline. My defense and offense have to be disciplined where they're going after the ball and with the ball. It's going to come down to discipline, both sides of the ball.
All right, thanks. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Mark Stanek, the Williams Bay coach, back with more after this on X107
Pregame 2.
I'm here with Kyle Wiskus from Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Kyle, it seems like hybrids are dominating the roads, but there aren't many charging locations in Dubuque.
Agreed. Luckily, Toyota hybrids don't require plug-in charging. The Toyota hybrid system is built to charge while the vehicle is being driven, so there's no need for plug-in charging.
What about the battery life? Should people be worried about its longevity?
Not at all. Toyota has sold over 5 million hybrids in the last 25 years. Plus, their battery warranty covers you for 10 years or 150,000 miles.
How does regular maintenance on a hybrid compare to a gas model?
Toyota hybrid vehicles require the same maintenance as gas-powered models and oftentimes even less. For example, the hybrid model's regenerative braking charges the battery even while slowing down the vehicle, increasing the life of the vehicle's brake pads.
Wow, it seems like there are a lot of benefits in choosing a hybrid Toyota. Visit Anderson Weber in Dubuque to learn more and take a test drive today.
Pre-game 2.
All right. Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues at X1071. Williams Bay and Highland non-conference football on a Thursday night. We're joined by Highland coach Jason Scanlon. Thanks for joining us. I know you don't want to look back, but you're coming off a tremendous season. Everybody knows how far Stanley Boyd now is, but to get to the state semifinals, you did have a lot of players graduate, but that was a memorable year last year.
Yeah, it was definitely a memorable year. Had outstanding seniors and big senior class and great leaders, and they really set a tone and for what we expect as 8-man program now. So,
all right, well, even though you have a lot of people gone from last year, it seemed like you pretty much picked up where you left off in your win last week. What do you feel like really worked for you?
I think quarterback played an excellent game, and we run spread offense, so the quarterback's very important to that, and he really executed well. He's been waiting his turn a little bit there at quarterback. He played receiver for us last year, but he really executed the offense well and set everything up, running the ball and passing, so that was a big part of it.
Is this going to be a different looking team because of the different players, or you basically just plug in people and that's how it goes?
Caden's a little different quarterback. Bennett Smith more of a passing quarterback. Caden's more of an option quarterback, but he definitely can throw the ball as well. So we try to keep the balance, but there'll be a little more option, I would say, this year on offense. Defensively, it'll be pretty much the same. Coach Havlick has a system, and he teaches it really well, and we should be ready to roll with that. Okay, so tonight it's Williams Bay. They are coming off a win, and just 5 days ago they played on Saturday. What about the Bulldogs as a challenge that you see, and what do you feel like are the Rosemeyer Wealth Management keys to the game? On film, we played them last year, the first game of the year, first game in 8-man football, and they were a little young last year. They've got a lot of guys coming back this year, some good athletes, some real physical runners with the ball, so our tackling's going to have to be really good and really sharp on defense. Offensively, have to win the battle at the line of scrimmage like we always start with on offense. So those would be the keys, I'd say.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Jason Scanlon, the Highland quarterback coach, the coach actually will be back with Williams Bay and Highland after these messages on X1071.
In game 1.
Whether you are an athlete with a sports-related injury or a weekend warrior with a strain or sprain, you can count on Grant Regional Health Center's rehab team to be there for you. Our rehab experts have the knowledge and experience to create an individualized care plan to help you get back to better health. From physical or occupational therapy, speech therapy, or cardiopulmonary rehab, we are with you every step of the way. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
Partner with Fuller's Milker Center and Gia for your next milking system. From the Dairy Pro Q robotic rotary parlor to the Dairy Robot R9500 robotic box milking system, you select the best fit for your operation. With Gia, you can also choose from market-leading conventional parlors, fully equipped with automated accessories. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to start building your dream milking facility.
Fuller's Milker Center.
In game 1.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Because we cover everything around here, we've also got Badger football hosting Miami of Ohio, formerly the Redskins, now the Redhawks. And we'll have that is on right now, actually, on 97.7 Country WGLR. Our injury report brought to you by Russell Law Offices. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. Everybody, according to both coaches, ready to go tonight. That's good because there are some instances where kids get banged up early, and sometimes they get banged up during preseason practice, but apparently everybody's okay here.
Yep, and with 8-player football, obviously smaller schools means not a lot of depth, so you have all the players on deck. Good to see both teams ready to go here tonight.
Our Game Time Turf and Weather Report brought to you by Dewey's Tire Repair, north of Platteville on Highway 81 for all your farm, auto, and truck tire sales and service needs. The best place to take a leak, Dewey's Tire Repair, north of Platteville. It is 72 degrees. It's sunny, mostly sunny anyway. Temperature will drop into the 60s. It's a little breezy, although I'm not sure if that's the west wind or is that a fan that I can't see here. Anyway, it's a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, looking out at the trees from the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, a little bit of a breeze, kind of swirling a little bit, so it might affect the kicking game a little bit, but otherwise a very, very comfortable night for high school football in week 2. Much better than some of the hotter days that we've had this summer for sure.
Most definitely, yes. Colors of the game presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. The Cardinals look like the Cardinal in white in Madison. Red jerseys, white helmets, white pants with red trim. And Williams Bay is wearing white jerseys and pants. They have orange shoulders and orange numbers. That might be a little interesting. Their home uniforms, by the way, replaced the white with black. So I have to say, this is the first Bulldogs team I've ever seen in black and orange, for whatever that's worth. Because usually, black and orange teams are like the Tigers or the Braves,
right?
More off, while the Hornets in Richland Center, something involving bees or cats.
Yeah, I don't recall a orange and white Bulldogs team either, to be honest. And normally we're used to the Bulldog teams like basketball nearby with the Reds and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a different combination, but an aesthetically good matchup here this evening between two teams.
Our coin toss is brought to you by People's State Bank. And had we seen the coin toss, which was ridiculously early, we weren't even on the air yet.
I was connecting the laptop to a better Wi-Fi connection during the coin toss, so I missed who won the toss and who's receiving. But we'll have that answer in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll see who starts where to begin.
Yes. Today's game brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. We're brought to you by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. So if you want Cardinal Red, Flying Arrows Blue, Benton Green, River Ridge Purple,
they got it.
Talk to them.
Yeah, talk to them.
We're also brought to you by West End Salvage in Lancaster, our scrapper of the game sponsor. See Junkyard Joe Krantz and the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste to West End Salvage in Lancaster. We're going to take another break and then come back for the Fuller's Milker Center starting light-ups and quarter number 1 of Thursday night football. So are you Al or are you Chris? No. Yeah, who is doing it? We'll figure that out in some other time. Williams Bay and Highland coming up next on X1071.
In Game 2.
Hello, Dr. Matt here from Cuba City Family Dental. Something we take pride in is having 3 state-of-the-art facilities in Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington. Our investment in the latest technology and innovative services allows us to provide top-notch dental care to our area families. Take control of your oral health and make an appointment with our team, and let's make your smile the best it can be. Contact Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental now, and let's start this journey together. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors, combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
In Game 2.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. We always enjoy coming to Highland to bring you football games. Typically, we are here and will be this year also for, of course, homecoming because it's on a Saturday afternoon. It occurs to me, I have not done a night football game in Highland in 13 years.
Wow.
And I can tell you about the game because it was one of those great ball games with some interesting technical issues. It was not actually a game that we were scheduled to do, but they wanted me to do reports. And they said, our main game's going to be a blowout, so we'll probably throw it to you for the second half. Well, it turned out they threw it to me with 2 minutes left in the first half, and kind of had to struggle my way through that. And then came halftime, and then came a big problem because it turned out at the time I had a cell phone that had a battery that if you looked at it would lose 50% of its charge. So it would have been helpful to bring a charger, right?
One would think.
But guess who didn't? So I got one play into the second half, phone died, and then I said, in this very press box, national anthem at Highland High School. That is not what I said. I said, after the cell phone of mine died, I said, does anybody have a cell phone I can use? And the man who was running the scoreboard right next to us gave me his. And so I called the radio station back, got the whole second half in, and that was a great thing because Highland won that game over Blackhawk 26-22. Blake Bodenstein, who was a great quarterback for Highlands, ran for 4 touchdowns in the game, including the game winner with about 2.5 minutes left. And so I'm eternally grateful for that. And it turns out that it would have been helpful to turn on the crowd mic to hear the PA announcing the national anthem.
Well, it is very rare that we are surprised by a national anthem.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, that one snuck up on us. So
yeah.
Well,
we're brought to you by Community First Bank for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. Our touchdowns presented by Northland Buildings. For a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque when you are ready. Our MVP sponsored by Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. Russell Law Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin Russell Law Offices. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's get the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Our halftime presented by McNett Electric in Belmont. They can assist you with all your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. Sullivan Auctioneers, Big Iron Realty, our first down sponsor. If you have livestock, farm, land, or buildings to sell, call Daryl Krapp. Visit bigiron.com to learn more. And Rosemeyer Wealth Management, our keys to the game sponsor. They will design a plan specific to your retirement goals. The experts at Rosemeyer Wealth Management will answer all your questions. Even if you don't know what questions to ask, check out their website, rosemeyermg.com. Well, you've seen no indication yet that being able to tell who is going to kick off and who's going to receive. We will tell you we have more football, of course, tomorrow. Cuba City and Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR. Platteville at Mineral Point on X1071. And I guess what? The Battle of Highway 18, Fenimore and River Ridge. And that, or the West Battle of Highway 18. And that is on Super It's 106. And the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Highland will receive, moving right to left, as you watch on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. So our starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line of options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster and Richland Center and at fullersmilkercenter.com. Here's the kickoff to begin. High school football on X1071. And returned up to the 40 and up to the 44-yard line for a gain of 4 yards for a good start, obviously, for the Cardinals. 7 seconds in. The quarterback, Caden Washup, who you might say he had a good debut as the starter. 4 of 6, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 carries, 63 yards, 3 touchdowns also last week. Brady Nanke, 9 carries, 70 yards as the running back. The receivers, Cooper Olson, 56-yard touchdown catch. Getting the start tonight, Coyer Zadrazil also. And we'll also see probably Ben Ford in there as well. First down and a carry off the left side and a gain of 6 yards there up to midfield. Second down, 4 yards to go. The offensive line, Trent Nanke, Sam Biba, and Evan Bettner. And Nanke goes 230. Biba, we don't have his weight, and Bettner don't have his either, but it is a good size offensive line. The ball is at the 49-yard line of Williams Bay after a 7-yard gain. And a run for Nanke around the right side, and that will be close to the first down marker. It goes out of bounds, and it looks like actually he'll be a little bit short. It'll be third down, about 2 yards to go. And it'll be at the 48-yard line. In the win over Monticello last week, Highland really got to them right away, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It was real quick. I think the longest drive might have been 6 plays total, so Highland wasting no time.
Here's the handoff up the middle, and that'll be a first down for Nanke. I believe it'll be a first down. It's very close. And it is our first Big Iron first down of the ball game. And the first down to the 37, one more time, 43-yard line. They sound like someone we both worked with. No score. We're in the second minute of the first quarter. Ball at the 43, first and 10. Washer throws to Olson, left side, and Olson tripped up as he gets across the 40-yard line down to the 38. That'll be a gain of about, we'll call it about 5 yards. Second down, 5 yards to go. The defense for Williams Bay up front, Andrew Nichols, Cyrus Nategi, and Jackson Wiley. 3 linebackers, DC Vandebogert, Carmine Robbins, and Ethan Weigel. Aaron Diaz, Jacob Haynes are the defensive backs. Second down, and they gave him 6, so it's 2nd and 4. And Nanke is going to throw the ball, tipped up in the air, and it is picked off.
Wow.
And so the Lancaster Dental and Fenimore Smiles turnover ends the drive just like that.
And there is a Pink's penalty flag on the far side of the field. I think it came in after the play.
And it's unsportsmanlike conduct. So that'll push them considerably back, but Williams Bay obviously will get the football. It'll be back to the 31-yard line. 1st and 10. Starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster and Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. Antonio Perez, the senior, is the quarterback. 12 for 21 with 3 touchdowns last week, 5 carries for 28 yards. I think he had about 180 yards. And the first down pass over the middle into traffic on the left side. Pass is caught for a short gain. And the ball to the 32-yard line for a gain of 2 yards for Perez. 2nd down and 8. The running back, Carmine Robbins, 10 for 125 and 2 touchdowns plus a 5-yard catch. Emmett Henry, Jacob Haynes, and Ethan Welsh are the receivers. Jackson Wiley, Cyrus Nategi, and Andrew Nichols are the offensive linemen. Throw to the right side, past the intended receiver, and that was Diaz. And so it'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go from the 32. Highland on defense. Up front, Evan Bettner, Colton Whaler, and Trent Nanke. Brady Nanke is the linebacker, and in actually 4 defensive backs: Cade Washa, Cooper Olson, Jack Terrell, and Coyer Zadrazil. 3rd down and 8, and a run for Robbins around the left side, but that isn't going to get anywhere close to the first down, and he didn't actually, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was it.
Yeah, we saw it last week with Highland, the linebacking crew moving really, really fast laterally, not allowing a lot of big runs to the outside. So the linebackers and defensive line showing their muscle early on.
So 4th and 7, and the turnover doesn't hurt Highland. Here's a good punt, and Olson it touched him. The ball is free at that point, but it's recovered by Olson. That would have been disaster there, but he's able to get the ball to the 20 at the Highland 24-yard line. 8:19 left in the first quarter, no score.
Yeah, a couple early miscues for Highland, kind of uncharacteristic from what we've seen from them over the past couple seasons, but see if they can get some momentum going here on this drive with 8:49 to go in the first quarter.
And the ball actually spotted at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Highland, of course, coming off their first 8-player season, which went about as well as possible. It would have been really something if they had beaten Owen Withy to go to state, but they lost to the state champ, so there is that. Here's the throw from the left side. That's incomplete. Trying to hit Olson was Washup, and it's 2nd and 10. Our game today, it'll be helpful if I would pan ahead to where our listing is. We will tell you in a moment here. But first, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Ford comes in motion and a handoff, and Williams Bay stacked that up. Actually, Jack Terrell on the carry, and a loss of 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 12 yards to go. And that was Jack Terrell.
And then Carmine Robbins, number 5 for Williams Bay, showing some early pursuit early on. He's had a couple big tackles already and holding Highland runners to the line of scrimmage.
So back to the 23, 3rd down, 12 yards to go. And back to pass is Washa, and he fires to the right side and misses the intended receiver, who I believe was Ben Ford. He was quite a bit downfield, however, so a 3 and out for the Cardinals and a punt coming up. Our game today brought to you by Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Here is a great punt. And that's going to go over the head of the returner and bounce and be down at the 5-yard line. What a tremendous
Holy
kick
cow.
that was.
That was incredible.
That punt ends up going 72 yards.
Wow.
And so Williams Bay backed up into a big hole here at the 5-yard line. 7:48 remaining in the first quarter, and no score. Breckler Insurance Group, for all your insurance needs. See Steve Landusky at Breckler Insurance Group in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance, serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. And just as a point of clarification, Steve Landusky has not been serving for insurance for 95 years. 1st and 10 from the 5, and a run around the right side, and Highland's defense is able to scout that out for a gain of just 1 yard up to the 6-yard line. So the 1-yard gain makes it 2nd down, 9 yards to go. They're now on the near side hash mark. Again, we have Badger football right now on 97.7 Country WGLR. Badgers and Miami of Ohio. And I know somebody in the band. 2nd and 9. Whistles stop the play, and it's going to be 2nd and 12. Most likely for a false start, and that is the call.
Second Pink's penalty of the game on Williams Bay so far.
First was that unsportsmanlike conduct on the interception. So it's 2nd and 12 from the 3. 2 receivers to the right, and 1 receiver to the left and 1 running back. Back to pass is Perez. Throws to the left side. Trying to get it out of there fast, but not connecting with the intended receiver on the far side, and it is 3rd down. That was Robbins, the intended receiver. And so it's 3rd and 12. This is, at least at the start, looks like the rarest of things in 8-player football, a defensive game. Because usually the 8-player games we do, typically teams put 2 scores each up already. 3rd down and 12, and Perez rolls to the left, throws to the left, and the pass misses the intended receiver on the far side, incomplete, and it is 4th down, and this is going to have to be a really good kick. Although there is a flag on the play, let's check what that is.
Yeah, I didn't see where the flag came from.
It's holding on Williams Bay, which I'm going to assume that was not in the end zone. And Highland does decline the penalty. So it'll be 4th and 12, and the punter.
It's going to be Robbins, number 5.
And he is well advised to kick this thing as hard as possible. Here's the snap and the kick, and that was not it. And that ball is caught short, and Highland is going to have fantastic field position at the 27-yard line, as that's where Olsen makes the catch of the punt on a fair catch.
Yeah, tough spot to dig out of if you're Williams Bay, but I'm sure the wind had a factor in that as well, but great field position for Highland. See if they can capitalize on it.
6:56 remaining in the first quarter, and no score. Highland already in its 3rd possession. The first ended in an interception, and the second was a 3 and out. And you can probably hear the wind on our crowd mic, I would think. Back to pass, or actually Washa hands it off to Nanke, and Nanke with a short gain of -1 yard. Back to the 28, 2nd and 11. And Williams Bay's win over Wayland Academy of Beaver Dam on Saturday, there was no score in the first quarter, and then Williams Bay erupted for 4 second quarter touchdowns, 32 points.
Wow.
2nd and 11 back at the Williams Bay 28. Wash it a pass, throws it the rainbow to the left side for Olson, and it is caught for a touchdown on the near corner. A Northland Buildings touchdown. He just rainbowed it over there, and Olson made the catch behind the defender, and Highland scores first on a 2-play drive with 6:15 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, Highland really likes it when Olson is going to have those one-on-one matchups on the outside. Washa makes the connection. They did that last week, too, in the matchup against Monticello. 25-yard touchdown pass puts Highland on the board.
And they will go for 2. Nanke is the running back behind Washa. Receiver went from the right to the left, and now goes back to the right. And it's Nanke up the middle. He bursts through for the Point and Flush Sportsman's Club 2-point play. And so they take advantage of field position, and it is Highland 8, Williams Bay nothing, with 6:15 left in the first quarter. Back after this on X1071.
In game 3.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your
Check
team
1, 2.
and
Check.
look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
Affordable health care right here in Dubuque at Crescent Community Health Center. Crescent offers affordable, high-quality health care to everyone with insurance assistance available. Whether you need medical, dental, brain health, or general wellness, Crescent provides the expertise you expect and deserve. Learn more of the variety of services available by visiting crescentchc.org. Crescent Community Health Center on the corner of 17th and Elm Street in Dubuque.
In game 3.
8-0 Highland with 6:15 remaining in the first quarter. And the run up the middle on the kick return up to the 31-yard line. And that is where Williams Bay will start. They kind of missed an opportunity, certainly, by not being able to take advantage of the interception. And Highland, after a 72-yard punt, got to 3 it out. And then got a 27-yard 2-play scoring drive, a 28-yard touchdown pass to Cooper Olson. And it is actually spotted at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. One receiver to the right and 2 running backs. And a bad snap, and the ball is still loose, and a fight for it, and it is recovered by Williams Bay, it looks like, but that's a bad loss there. Andrew Nichols, I think, was lined up in the quarterback, but the snap went over him. And they're able to recover it, but way back at the 15-yard line.
And I think Nanke had a chance to get the recovery, but the ball just slipped away out of his hands, and fortunately for Williams Bay, they're able to pounce on it.
However, it's 2nd and 24. And the run around the left side, and just a couple of yards recovering as the ball goes out of bounds. Brought up about to the 19-yard line, so a gain of 4 yards on the quarterback run, but that sets up 3rd and 20. With 5:17 remaining in the first quarter, and Highland leading Williams Bay 8-0. Williams Bay from the Southeast 8 Conference, by the way. 3rd and 20. Taking a while to get the plane, it looks like, or they're having some issue with the clock, yes. It's spotted actually at the 19, so it's 3rd down, 24 yards to go. They need to get up to the 34-yard line, and they're having an issue with the clock. So while they're having an issue with the clock, we'll tell you our drive of the game will be brought to you by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it is Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service. Because of Les Mack, you always get more from Les. And it ends up, they're going to get 5 yards, Williams Bay will, because of offside called on Highland. So that moves the ball up to the 24-yard line. It makes it 3rd and 19. Back to pass, Perez swings it out. Pass is caught. That was a great catch, but it's not going to be close to the first down. Back to the original line of scrimmage for Ethan Welsh, and he was kind of awkwardly had to go make the catch, which he did, but it ends up far short of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like a little slip screen that they were trying to go with, but there were no blockers on that side. It was a great job by Cooper Olson and Bryce Nanke to close in and make the tackle.
4th and 11, and here is a line drive kick, and Olson will watch that bounce out of the shadow created by the press box, back into the sun, and to the 36-yard line. So that's where Highland will start, 1st and 10 with 4:43 remaining in the first quarter, and the Cardinals leading 8-0. Our extra points brought to you by Point and Flush Sportsman's Club. Their guided upland bird and waterfowl hunts with friends and family will create memories that will last forever. Make your best shot with Point and Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. Olson goes out to the left side, and 2 receivers over to the right. Washa has Nanke as his running back, goes back to pass and fakes, and now takes off, and he's up to the 40, the 45, 50, 45, 40 down the sideline to the 30, to the 20, one man to beat, he will, touchdown! 64 yards, but it looks like this will not count. Holding called on Highland. Maybe that's why he was able to get free. And this being a downfield holding penalty, I guess we'll see where they spot it here. Won't necessarily be just 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, I believe. And they'll spot it at midfield, which means it is a first down. So the penalty was obviously thrown at the Williams Bay 40-yard line. It's 10 yards from there when it's a downfield holding penalty. So Highland does get the first down out of it, 1st and 10. 4.5 minutes remaining first quarter, and an 8-0 Highland lead.
But that just shows just how much of a dual threat quarterback Kaden Washa is. I mean, he's got the wheels, and we just showed it right there.
Terrell is the receiver to the left side. And this is a handoff to Nanke up the middle, and he's across midfield down to the 47-yard line for a gain of about 3 yards. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Our game brought to you by Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, or refinishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. From the Williams Bay 47-yard line, the receivers are all on the right side. This time, Washa backs pass with time, swings it to the right side, and the catch made down the far sideline, and it's Olson getting away and getting to the end zone. So the penalty just delayed, not denied the touchdown. Highland has scored again, another Northland Buildings touchdown, this one with 3:36 remaining in the first quarter. And that makes it a 3-play, 64-yard scoring drive. It's 14-0. And once again, the Cardinals will go for 2. And obviously it's early to say this, but you feel like Williams Bay kind of missed an opportunity, and now they're paying for it by not being able to take advantage of that interception.
Yep, Highland's offense very explosive all of a sudden.
They'll go for 2, and it's a run around the left side to Nanke, and Nanke hits to the end zone again. And that is the Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra point. And it is Highland 16, Williams Bay nothing. Well, wait a minute. Looks like we had a Pink's Automotive penalty and all that. And it will force another attempt. That was an illegal procedure on Highland. So they'll move back 5 for the 2-point conversion. They may run the same play because Nanke certainly had no problem getting in the end zone the first 2 times that he's run it.
Well, Highland did have 2 penalties on 2-point conversions last week, and they did convert on one of them, I do recall. So let's see what they draw up here.
It'll be Washoe to pass over the middle and past the intended receiver in the end zone. So the penalty does end up costing them 2 points. It's 14-0 Highland with 3:36 remaining in the first quarter. And again, there was a scoring drive of 3 plays, 64 yards, and it took just 1 minute and 7 seconds for Highland to extend its lead to 14-0. Badgers and Miami of Ohio, of course, on 97.7 Country WGLR. Coming up tomorrow, Cuba City and Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Platteville at Mineral Point on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Fenimore and River Ridge on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
All 3 interesting games.
Very much, yes. Fenimore got the milk can last week. River Ridge won. Mineral Point beat Dodgeville. Platteville, well, they scored 33, which was good. They gave up 63, which was not. Lancaster came from behind to beat Belleville. And, of course, Cuba City throttled by Potosi Cassville. Here's a bouncing kickoff that's fumbled and picked up. And at the 27-year, well, a good job of getting away from the initial tackle. And nice job there as the ball is returned by Douglas Borowski, getting through a tackle. And the ball is spotted at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. 3:29 remaining in the first quarter. And Highland leading 14-0. Millie's Diner in Dickeyville, where everything is homemade. Open 7 days a week. Open 7 to 3. Check out their menu and daily specials on Facebook. They are our halftime fix sponsor. Guess what they had last week, by the way? Maybe they still do. Grilled peaches.
Interesting.
Timeout called. And I think that was Williams Bay calling their first with 3:29 remaining in the first quarter at a 14-0 score. We'll have, by the way, volleyball coming up on Tuesday, Potosi and Belmont on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. You got to open the season with River Ridge and Lancaster.
Yeah, that was a thriller. 5 sets, back and forth matchup between those 2 teams. Very curious how the season's pan out for those programs. Finished in the middle of the road of their respective conferences last year and have some excellent players on both sides. So looking forward to seeing how Lancaster and River Ridge pan out in their 2025 volleyball campaign.
As once again, Tuesday night volleyball returns on 97.7 Country WGLR. I think this is the first, by tomorrow night, it'll be, I think, the first time I've ever done 4 games in the first 2 weeks of the season. For whatever that's worth.
Yeah, five games in 8 days for me. That's a playoff type ambitious schedule.
Bad snap, but it's picked up by Perez. He throws to the right, or throws over the middle, finds a receiver, and he's got room to the 50, to the 40, and down to the 35, inside the 35-yard line. And a catch by Jacob Haynes. Perez had to deal with a bad snap, but that is all the way down to the 33-yard line of Highland, their longest play of the game by far. 3:03 remaining, first quarter, 14-0. Perez to pass. Perez going back, now throws left side, and the pass tipped up in the air and incomplete at about the 30-yard line. I think he actually threw that into double coverage and was fortunate that it didn't get caught. Second and 10. 2:55 left in the first quarter. We've already had a ton of plays already. And a 14-0 Highland lead.
Yeah, a lot of plays, but Highland has had a number of explosive ones that have led to the 2 touchdowns that they have. A little bit of ground and pound, a little bit of explosion here and there, too.
Receiver out to the right side and 2 to the left. And back to pass Perez. Now he rolls to the left. He'll take off with it. And he will go out of bounds. He does go out of bounds. About the 27-yard line, about 5 yards. It'll be third down and 5 yards to go with 2:49 left in the first quarter. And actually spotted back at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, this feels like a big third down early on for Williams Bay. You want to keep this drive alive and capitalize on the opportunity to get in the end zone. This is as close as they've been to the end zone so far in this first quarter.
Because at this point, other than the turnover, they haven't been able to stop Highland's offense. Perez to pass, throws to the right side and off the hands of the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 4th and 6. Just too quick a pass, basically, and you would certainly think they'll go for it on 4th down, because don't think a 47-yard field goal is going to happen, and punting would be, you're wasting field position if you do that, because you'll probably end up kicking it into the end zone. So they'll go for it. Perez, the quarterback, goes back, rolls to the right, looks and throws to the right side. The pass broken up. No, he caught it. The ball is caught inside the 10-yard line. What a catch that was by Ethan Welsh, excuse me. I thought the ball was broken up, but he held on to it, and it'll be 1st and goal inside the Bitech green zone.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought that was a broken up pass, but he was able to haul it in, and what an acrobatic move coming back to make the catch and bailing his quarterback out. 1st and goal for Williams Bay.
Big Iron first down, and they're not in the green. They're not in the red zone. They're in the Bitech green zone. A Greener Way Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. Here's a handoff to Robbins around the left side to the 5, and he is short of the goal line, but very close, looks like. Robbins down to the 1. And it's 2nd and goal from there with 1:55 left in the first quarter.
Yep, the football just beyond the 5-yard line.
I was looking at the wrong guy on the sideline, obviously. So 2nd and goal, actual spotted at the 5. Robbins is the running back to pass Perez, throws right side and misses the intended receiver in the end zone. That was Henry. And breaking up the pass there was Ben Ford. And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 5. Perez is all alone in the backfield. He's got wingbacks on, wingback on the left side. Bad snap, picked up by Perez, throws to the end zone, tipped up in the air and incomplete in the end zone. And that play basically was messed up by the timing problem caused by the bad snap. 4th down.
That's about the 3rd or 4th bad snap that we've seen from Williams Bay, too. And, you know, again, for Williams Bay, they're able to jump on it and maintain possession on all those opportunities, but definitely something that coaching staff and the players have to wrap up. Can't give Highland opportunities to give more opportunities for themselves to score and eliminate opportunities for Williams Bay to get on the scoreboard.
Big play here. 4th and goal from the 5, and whistles, and somebody moved early, it looks like. And that was badly timed right there. So it's 4th and goal, but from the 10-yard line. Minute 24 left in a action-packed first quarter, 14-0 Highland.
Yeah, from our vantage point, I thought that play design was going to be something successful for Williams Bay because it looked like Highland wasn't going to be able to get to the edge in time to protect the running back from getting into the end zone.
4th and goal, same formation. Perez throws left side, pass is caught, but it will be short of the end zone, and actually it was an incomplete pass, so that takes care of that. And Highland will start at their 10-yard line as the defense gets the stop with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter.
And credit Caden Washa with making the hit and making sure that the receiver wasn't able to pull that pass in. He came in on a head of steam just to make that pass breakup happen and forcing a turnover on downs deep in their own territory, but keeping a Williams Bay team out of the end zone. At this point in the game, up 2 scores, an opportunity to go up 3. That's a big, big stop for Highland.
Now Highland's in the same position Williams Bay was a few minutes ago, way back toward their end zone, but that is taken care of by a run around the right side. And Brady Nanke is able to get them out of the shadow of their own end zone and a big iron first down. Ball out to the about the 18-yard line. Minute 14 remaining in the first quarter. 14-0 Highland lead. Back to passes Washa. Now he's going to air it out down the middle and tipped away at the last moment at the 45-yard line. That was a terrific defensive play. Olsen, the intended receiver.
Jacob Haynes, the defensive back, reading that one and knocking that one out of the hands, preventing another explosive Highland play.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the 18. 1:07 remaining, first quarter. And today's game brought to you by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, Prairie du Chien, and at Carey's Gutters and Doors.com. And our Green Zone sponsor, Bytech Resource Management, a greener way, Bytech Resource Management of Monroe. 2nd and 10 from the Highland 18-yard line, moving right to left in quarter number 1. Washa keeps it, runs it to the right side, and goes down short of the 30-yard line, but very close to the first down. Gains 9, and so it'll be 3rd down and a yard to go from the 27 with 47 seconds and the clock running in the first quarter. 14-0 as the sun sets, or close to setting. I can see it looks like a great sunset based on the reflection in the window. The sun is behind us, so we're not trying to deal with that. 3rd down and a yard to go from the 27. Nanke up the middle, runs into defenders, but he ran into defenders after he got the big iron first down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, this view in Highland is my favorite view in southwest Wisconsin for high school football. I mean, seeing cornfields, out in the distance and a great skyline here this evening. It's peak southwest Wisconsin small school football. There's nothing that beats this environment.
After a quarter, Highland 14, Williams Bay nothing. More after this on X1071.
In Game 4.
Better health is just around the corner. Grant Regional Community Clinics in Lancaster, Potosi, Cassville, and now Fenimore are just down the street and right in your neighborhood. With convenient hours and experienced providers, we're ready to care for your entire family. And we accept major health plans, including Quartz, Medical Associates, and Dean, to name a few. We're proud to support our local communities with local care close to home. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
If it's a double 50 or double 4 parlor you milk, see Fuller's Milker Center, your Kia dealer. Fuller's offers a complete line of high technology solutions to make your dairy a model of efficiency with state-of-the-art milking systems, revolutionary milking units, and the latest in udder prep and post-dipping systems with the best in automated animal monitoring. No matter how many cows you milk, you can rely on Fuller's Milker Center, LLC in Lancaster and Richland Center to keep your operation at peak efficiency.
Fuller's Milker Center.
In Game 4.
Grand Regional Health Center, People's State Bank coverage of high school Thursday night football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington, Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Second quarter, Highland leading Williams Bay 14-0. Just got a big iron first down. They're at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10, and Terrell came in motion, and then somebody moved. You don't want that. Illegal procedure pushes Highland back 5 yards to the 27. 1st and 15. A retro by Bouse Electric called Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. And Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, Lanark, Illinois, and at Sloans.com. I think I've been to Lanark twice, or through Lanark. Called volleyball there a couple of years ago. That was a good trip. 1st and 15, back at the 27. Wash should have passed. Over the middle, pass is caught, and the catch there by Jack Terrell will be a first down up to the 42-yard line. Excuse me, Connor Zadrazil. Excuse me again, Coyer Zadrazil. That's 6, not 16. But any way you say it, it is a big iron realty first down up to the 42-yard line, 15 yards. Zadrazil getting the start tonight. 1st and 15. Nanke hit in the backfield, but that was a fake. It's up the middle to the 45-yard line. And Nanke, after the hit, was able to gain about 4 yards up to the 46. Second down, 6 yards to go. Lancaster Dental Associates and Fenimore Smiles are turnover sponsor. Get the smile you want and the health you deserve. Learn more at lancdent.com. 2nd and 6 from the 46. Here's the pitch to Nanke around the left side. Gets the first down to the 45, and he rolls to a stop at about the 40-yard line of Williams Bay. Another big iron first down. And I would say that Highland has now got the offense going after the early turnover.
Yep, and Highland is going more of a body blows type of approach on this drive. They did try and take that deep shot, but the pass was broken up. But Highland very content about controlling the pace of the game now, up 2 scores, gradually moving the ball down the field and trying to wear out this line for Williams Bay, because Williams Bay's players play on both sides of the ball.
1st and 10 from the Bulldogs 40. Nanke up the middle, hits a couple of guys, goes down at about the 35-yard line. Second down, 5 yards to go. Robbins ends up making the stop. Subs.com, our quarterback sack sponsor. Fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from a locally owned company. Visit their Fenimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and Subs.com. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best. See Rob Krantz and the crew for full service repair on cars and light trucks too. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best in Fenimore. Back to pass is Washa. Throws to the end zone and just past the hands of Ford in the right side of the end zone. And 2nd and 5 turns into 3rd and 5. Jack Terrell actually on the receiving end, but that pass was a little bit past him, so it's 3rd and 5 from the 35. 9:25 remaining in the first half. You know, it's funny, when I came over here, I had no idea there was this much wind.
Yeah, it's swirling in the press box here tonight.
3rd down, 5 yards to go from the 35-yard line. And it's Nanke up the middle and spun down after a gain of about 3 to the 32-yard line. And it will be 4th down and 2 yards to go from the 32.
I mean, it is comfortable in the press box, but the wind a bit of a nuisance here.
Well, you know, I'm thinking that's that fan that's doing that, because it seems like a whole lot windier than it. I mean, when I came up here, it wasn't that windy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Maybe we can get the fan turned off, because it's pretty comfortable in here without it, as opposed to some nights or some afternoons for that matter. So it'll be 4th down, 2 yards to go at the Williams Bay 32-yard line. Nanke, the running back behind Washa. It'll be Washa, gets hit, runs around, gets to the 30, gets the first down, and goes out of the 25, and flags fly as he went out of bounds. Now that's going to be holding on Highland, so never mind that.
If that's your run-of-the-mill playground type play. But for something on the outside, no one there, and turn around, bounce it the other way, would have had enough for the first down, but you still can't hold in any level of football.
So that pushes the ball back to the 40-yard line, and it'll make it 4th down and 10 yards to go. .8:24, and the clock running in the first half, 14-0. Highland leading Williams Bay. And now somebody, I think Highland or Williams Bay had to call a timeout because they had too many players on the field.
Well, someone was running off the field for Williams Bay, and there was a player for Highland lined up on the other side of the ball, so that could have been a penalty on both teams potentially. But a timeout taken by Williams Bay. They got one remaining.
They had to burn one in the first quarter, remember, before a drive started. Our game brought to you by People's State Bank for personal, home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their convenient area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com, member FDIC. Pink's Automotive in Lancaster and Goodney's Garage in Platteville have the certified technicians, equipment, and experience to keep your vehicle in top running condition. And we are brought to you by Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville. Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control, over 40 years of professional, friendly service. 8:12 remaining in the first half. And Highland leading Williams Bay 14-0. They'll have 4th and 10 from the Williams Bay 40-yard line, and they will run a play here. At least it looks like they will. And wash it back to pass. And they're going to throw to the left side, and the receiver makes the catch. And it will be a first down in the Bitech green zone. On the Big Iron first down, and the catch made by I'm going to guess that was Olsen. And so it's 1st and 10 at the 12. 28 yards on 4th and 10. Receiver out to the right side. And here's a roll around the right side by Washa. Throw to the end zone, and it is incomplete right at the pylon. Zadrazil was the intended receiver. And so it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 12. With 7:30 remaining until the McNett Electric halftime report. Highland had an interception on their first drive, but touchdowns on their next 2 drives, and Williams Bay, thanks in part to fumbled snaps and a terrific punt. In the case of the Cardinals, they've been unable to get their offense going. For the most part, did have one drive, but didn't work. Here's a Nanke around the right side, and Nanke goes out of bounds and gets down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down at about 8.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for Highland to go up by that infamous 3rd score that could make things really interesting for Williams Bay. You've got the Bulldogs right where you want them. You just got to be able to finish off this drive and really put the pressure on.
Actually, it ends up, he went out of bounds apparently short of the back stick, so it's 3rd down and 11 actually back at the 13-yard line. Shifting going on Highland's part, receivers left and right, and one running back. Nanke back to pass is Washa. Looks, throws to the right side, passes incomplete at about the 6-yard line. And so it'll be 4th down again, 4th and 11. Fourth and 11. Lunch has just, or the halftime meal has just arrived.
Oh, lucky you.
4th and 11 at the 12. Well, you know, the real reason to come here, of course, for homecoming is the steak sandwiches, which I don't think they have yet. It's early in the season, and it could be a homecoming only thing. But at any rate, 7:21 left, first half. It's 4th and 11 from the 13, and Highland wants to discuss this. And that is their first timeout. So they have 2, and 1 timeout again remaining for Williams Bay. Again, Badger football on 97.7 Country WGLR. The Badgers opening their season with Miami of Ohio. Well, that's not the big sports news. And on the Shoebox Scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest, it's also not. The Brewers losing this afternoon to Arizona 6-4. That was on AM 1590 WPVL. No, we got big news, big Packer news. The rumored trade, turns out that it's actually going to happen. Micah Parsons, great defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, traded to the Packers for a defensive end, Kenny Clark, and 2 first-round draft picks.
And not only that, the Packers signed into a 4-year contract, $188 million, which to play football, that's a decent amount of money, I would think.
Well, that means he's not a rental also.
Right.
That's what's the key thing there. So 4th and 11, back at the 13, Wash it a pass, and rolls to the left and takes off and tried to throw it, but he ends up going down. And so that will end the drive. And the ball only ended up getting a yard out of that to the 12. And so Williams Bay's defense holds. And the Bulldogs take over with 7:15 remaining in the first half. And the ball spotted at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, but I'm curious about this drive for Williams Bay, because if they can go on a long drive and score, they will also get the second half kickoff as well. So they have an opportunity for a potential 2-for-1, depending on how much time it takes them on this drive.
Yeah, this could be a real momentum switch right here. 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. Receivers left and right. And Perez will throw it deep down the middle and had a receiver down there, but he overthrew him. And the pass intended for Diaz incomplete. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Tomorrow, of course, Cuba City and Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR, Platteville and Mineral Point on X1071, Fenimore River Ridge on Super Hits 106, and all 3 games on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. I guess that means you're going to get back-to-back frantic texts from somebody because Tyler makes it all work. So 2nd and 10, and Perez throws to the right side. High attempted a catch, but that's incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10. Broken up by Jack Terrell. So it's 3rd and 10. Third and 10 from the 9-yard line. Now this is a big moment here as far as getting a defensive stop and getting good field position, obviously, for the Cardinals. 2 running backs in the backfield. And a run around the right side for Robbins, and Robbins will get the first down. A big iron first down. Or did he? It looks like maybe he did not.
Yeah, Delmarker says it's 4th down, and he's about 3 yards short.
Well, apparently he went out of bounds. He stopped running, basically, after he was short of the line to gain. And I don't think at 4th and 3 you can probably go for it here where you are.
But I think they're going to punt it away because you don't want to give Highland excellent field position if you don't convert.
Right. They are going to go for it, and not going to make it either.
Yeah, Cooper Olson read that one the entire way, made the tackle in the backfield.
And so that is an interesting decision, and it ends up not working out at all for Williams Bay as Highland will take over. And the ball spotted at about the 17-yard line.
Give the Cardinals the football at 17 yards from the end zone.
Well, this is the 2nd time now that they've had a very short field. 1st and 10 for the 17, 6:58 left in the first half, 14-0 Highland. And Washoe rolls to the right and takes off with it to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. It took just one play from that. One play in 7 seconds. And the Northland Buildings touchdown gives Highland a 20-0 lead. And they will go for 2. Attempted a point in flush Sportsman's Club extra point. The first run by Nanke was successful. The second one was, except for the holding penalty, and the pass after that was incomplete. So they're 1 for 2 on point in flush Sportsman's Club extra points. They will go for 2 here. And the handoff to Nanke up the middle. And he is going to get it. And that makes it Highland 22, Williams Bay nothing, with 6:51 left in the first half. Back after this on X1071.
In Game 5.
Hello, Amy here from Cuba City Family Dental. Part of our dedication to excellence in the dental services we offer are same-day crowns. Instead of return visits to our office, we can diagnose and fix your tooth in one day at any of our 3 convenient locations. Call us when you are in need and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
In Game 5.
22-0. Highland leading Williams Bay. Kickoff returned, and the Bulldogs will not have very good field position here. It was recovered, and therefore no return. And the ball at the spotted at the 23-yard line. With 6:47 remaining until the McNett Electric halftime report. Highland's got 2 scores on very short fields. And back to passes, Perez on first down, throws to the right side, and the pass is tipped and almost intercepted. Washoe was unable to hold on to it on the right side, second down.
Yeah, the Highland defense doing an outstanding job so far tonight, just putting the clamps down and not giving Williams Bay a ton of opportunities. Williams Bay really only had 1 explosive play so far yet this evening.
And they were unable to convert on it, obviously, given the 0 on their side. Second down, 10 yards to go. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. This is not quite the hammer job that Highland had in the win over Monticello last week, but they're up 3 scores. Perez rolls right, throws, passes caught, and fighting for the first down and fighting to stop the first down. The catch made by Emmett Henry. And it ends up being it was Walsh, not Henry, but it is a Big Iron Realty first down up to the 34-yard line of Williams Bay.
Something I'm noticing for Highland personnel-wise, on first and second downs, we'll see Colton Whaler, number 97, who is a big boy, and then he'll be subbed in for number 15, Griffin Wineski.
Back to pass and throw to the right side, incomplete. Henry again, the intended receiver. Caden Washoe over there to break it up, 2nd and 10.
I know Griffin Wineski's weight isn't listed in our stat sheet here, but he had been wrestling for the Iowa Grant Highland wrestling team last season, and he was in the 115, 120-pound category. So that is a minimum 200-pound difference between your defensive tackles.
Basically, that's a size speed switch there. Perez throws it deep down the far sideline, and the catch is not made inside the 30-yard line. Diaz was open, but the pass unable to be carried in or brought in, and it's 3rd and 10. The Bulldogs do not refrain from throwing it deep, do they?
They don't, but Highland has been there to make the plays, too. The defensive backs have done an exceptional job being able to trail those receivers going up and down the field. Curious to see if there's another route or a different receiver they want to go to.
3rd and 10 from the 34. Perez rolls to the right. Looks, he's going to fire it deep downfield again. Got a receiver, but once again broke it up in the same spot at the 34-yard line. And that time Ford broke it up. And it's 4th and 10, and 3 bomb shots result in not a single yard gain and another punt coming up with 5:46 left in the first half. At least we assume they're going to punt.
Well, it looks like they're lining up to go for it.
Well, it looks like they are too. You're right. Perez back to pass on 4th down. Rolls to the right, gets past defenders. Now throws over the middle, and that is broken up at the 46 of Highland. Henry was the intended receiver. And so Highland once again in great field position at the 34 of Williams Bay with 5:39 left in the first half. That is I'm a little mystified by that.
A little bit, but I think it's also Williams Bay just trying to find something to jumpstart this team. I mean, you've seen Highland just kind of deliver more of a body blows type of attack. They've had a couple explosive plays here and there, but just to get something going. And now, I will say on that pass breakup, great job by Caden Washa not going for the interception and trying to return it, just batting it down, taking the great field position, and giving Highland an opportunity to bleed out this clock and go up 4 scores.
Because he's the quarterback, so he gets to take advantage of that. Pass to the right side is caught, and spinning down to the 25-yard line is Zadrazil. And the sticks move. Another big iron first down out of the 25. One thing about Highland also is that they have certainly been able to take advantage of the opportunities, and there have been several of them that have been given to them by Williams Bay tonight. 5:06 left of the first half.
And for Williams Bay, it could be a lot worse too. Those fumbles that we've seen off the snaps that they've been able to recover. They've been able to maintain the possessions, but aren't able to do much offensively.
Back to pass Washa, rolls to the left. Rolls, now throws it over the middle, and a jump ball in the end zone is deflected away. 2nd down coming up. Diaz made the breakup. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Our game brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. 4:45 remaining until the McNett Electric halftime report. Badgers are kicking off in Madison. That's on 97.7 Country WGLR. Zadrazil is the receiver to the right side. There's a receiver to the left, but Nanke runs it up the middle. And Nanke with a good gain there. Gain of about 5, a little shorter than 5, down to the 20-yard line, or just outside the 20-yard line, which means they are banging on the door of the Bitech Green Zone, a Greater Way Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. Washa comes out after he got the play. Zadrazil goes to the left side, Olson to the right. Also, Terrell is a slot on the left side, and Nanke the running back. Back to pass is Washa. Throws it to the right side of the end zone. Broke it up, but here comes the Pink's automotive penalty. And that looks, well, it's pass interference. Question is on whom.
Yeah, it was hard to tell initially if it was before the pass or not.
Pass interference on Williams Bay. It will be a Big Iron first down, Big Iron Realty first down via the Pink's automotive penalty. I don't know about your game, but I saw a ton of those in the Platteville-Darlington game last week.
Didn't see a ton of penalties in Lancaster versus Belleville. We did see a lot of cramping. That was the big thing that we saw there.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Highland trying to add to their 22-0 lead. 3:55 left of the first half. Washus with a pitch out that's fumbled, and that's going to be recovered by the Cardinals, but backwards for a loss of about 5 yards. Terrell is able to recover, but it'll be 2nd and goal back at the 15.
And there is a Pink's penalty flag as well. Looks to be at the 15-yard line.
Was that a flag or was that one of those markers?
Holding on the play.
Well, holding. So it was a flag. And I guess they will take that to push them back to the 20-yard line. First and goal from the 20. 3:45 left in the first half. Clock starts. Olsen will go to the left side. Zadrazil to the right along with Terrell. And here comes Nanke up the middle and got tripped up. Ends up getting some of it back down to the 15-yard line.
Brought down by number 27 for the Bulldogs, Weigel.
And the tackle there by Ethan Weigel, excuse me. Second down and goal from the 15. Back in the Bytech green zone, a Greener Way Bytech Resource Management of Monroe. We have an injured player on the field. And I cannot see a number. He's from Williams Bay, can tell that. 3:26 remaining of the first half. Highland has 2 timeouts remaining, and Williams Bay 1. You know, it's interesting you point out that there were a lot of cramps in the Lancaster-Belleville game because there really were not in our game, the Platteville-Darlington game. And Jeff Merg and I were talking about how you don't necessarily see a whole lot of that because there are, first off, the practices are not as draining as they used to be. And also, people are more cognizant of hydration.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it was any warmer in Lancaster than it was in Platteville.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just conditioning or, just awkward falls or something like that. It was interesting. They came on touchdown plays, too, for offensive linemen, particularly for Lancaster. And, I will be chatting with Coach Jordan Rowland tomorrow to get the starters and everything for tomorrow night. But I will say for Lancaster, there were a number of players that left the game with injuries. That was a big reason why Belleville had an explosive second quarter, scoring 20 of the 26 points.
Second and goal from the 15.
Well, it's Ethan Weigel, and he gets up okay, limping a little bit as he goes up. I've just seen, by the way, what you were talking about as far as the size of Colton Whaler. You're right. Second and goal from the 15-yard line. I think Weiler plays defense only. He's a big guy to bring in, obviously. Second and goal from the 15. Wash at a pass. Throws right side. Broke it up. Front of the end zone about the 5-yard line. Zadrazil was saying, hey, shouldn't that be a flag? And the officials say, no. And so it's third and goal for the 15. 3:18 left in the first half.
We'll bring up third down and goal from the 15.
Yeah, it's interesting with Colton Whaler. Obviously, he plays defensive tackle on the defensive side. But what's interesting is when he comes off the field, Griffin Wineski comes in and he lines up at defensive tackle. Which I don't know if that's a leverage thing where smaller and shorter, better center of gravity, but
or faster.
That too.
That would be my guess. Receivers left and right. Whatever, it's, depth is terrific. Third and goal for the 15. Washa throws to the right side of the end zone, but overshoots the intended receiver in the corner.
Pass intended to Terrell.
Terrell, the intended receiver, and it's fourth down. So fourth and goal with 3:13 left in the first half. 22-0, Highland leading Williams Bay. Highland has had a couple of fourth down conversions. This will be having, everybody knows it's going to have to go into the end zone.
Yeah, we've seen Highland be able to cash in on these long down to go, goal to go situations. So I'm sure they have something drawn up in their back pocket. Let's see if they pull something out here.
Low snap, but picked up by Washa. Throws it to the end zone and incomplete. think the receiver he got kind of twisted up and didn't know where the ball was supposed to be. Cooper Olson, the intended receiver.
Yeah, didn't know if he got twisted up trying to break away from his route or if he just ran the wrong route completely. But either way, Williams Bay able to turn Highland away with 3:08 to go until halftime. And again, another opportunity for Williams Bay. It felt like Highland has just been controlling the pace of the game so far from start to finish.
22-0 Highland. And see what Williams Bay is able to do. They have basically one long play in the game, and they were not able to take advantage of that. 1st and 10 from the 15. Bulldogs moving right to left in the second quarter. And Perez to pass. And Perez looking, now runs to the left and takes off with it to the 20 and out of bounds. And he will be spotted at the 23-yard line for a gain of 8. Second down, 2 yards to go with 3:01 left of the first half. And they spotted instead at the 19. So it's second down, 6 yards to go.
There's a lot of running for a 4-yard gain.
Well, he kept running once he went out of bounds. That was the thing. Second and 6. Perez to pass. Throws it down the right, or down the middle. Got a receiver, and he is gone. And it's Diaz for the touchdown. 81 yards. And suddenly, Williams Bay is back in the ball game with 2:49 left in the first half. 22-6.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Bulldogs. They've been trying to go deep time and time again, and this time able to make the catch and turn on the jets. You can see the speed that receiver has, Aaron Diaz, and boy, once he got the ball, he turned on the jets, and there was no one going to catch him.
There are about 5 or 6 passes like that didn't connect, but that one did. And now Williams Bay goes for 2. Robbins is the running back. There's a receiver out to the right side. High snap, and Perez is going to have to take off. And then he throws, and the pass incomplete. So it's a Northland Buildings touchdown, but not a Point and Flush Sportsman's Club 2-point play. And so it is 22-6. Highland leading with 2:49 left in the first half. And that obviously gives Highland some time. They've got 2 timeouts. We also have, and I'm sure they're playing now, Badgers and Miami of Ohio on 97.7 Country WHLR. And I wonder, it's the first game, obviously, for the players, but it's also the first game for the UW Marching Band. As it turns out, I know one of the members now because, well, he's got to be related. Ethan Repsch from Platteville, his sister is our daughter-in-law. And he got in the band, as I predicted, and he is marching. Sounds like a pretty cool show tonight, actually, a rock and roll show.
Yeah, a lot of classic rock halftime songs.
It's kind of funny because back when I was in the band in the 80s, it was kind of essentially, it felt as though the first games were always like big band shows. But the list includes Metallica, Enter Sandman, Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss, Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard, and I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. That's like my entire 80s right there, except for Kiss. Here's the kickoff. And it's a short kick and then picked up. Down the side goes Nanke, and Nanke is bounced out of bounds. But great field position again for the Cardinals. And where did they push him out of bounds? They haven't marked it yet. Now they do at the 36. Once again, terrific field position for the Cardinals. They haven't had, other than the one drive, they haven't had really long drives because they haven't needed them.
Yeah, 2:42, 2 timeouts in their back pocket. I mean, they have the full playbook and everything that they need to do. And we've seen Highland be very methodical. You know, yes, the 3 or 4 explosive plays that they've had, certainly a factor in the 3 scores that they've had, but it's really been kind of a ground and pound type of attack.
Tip pass and picked up. And down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, Ford makes the catch. Second down, 7 yards to go. And no hurry for the Cardinals given where they are. 2:25 left until the McNett Electric halftime report. This has been kind of a weird game at this point, hasn't it? Because Highlands moved the ball a lot. They haven't scored in a couple instances. When they have scored, it's been on short drives.
Yeah, Williams Bay's had a lot of bend but don't break defensive possessions so far this evening.
Here's Nanke up the middle. Nanke hit immediately. Gets 2 to the 32-yard line. Third down and 5 yards to go. You kind of feel like the momentum has switched a little bit also, in the sense that they're now down 2 scores instead of 3 before. They weren't able to get anything going on offense until except for one play, until the 81-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Williams Bay is if you can keep Highland out of the end zone, you get the ball to start the second half, have an opportunity to chip away at this lead even more. Highland, with the clock continuing to wind, obviously you want to put it in the end zone and extend the lead.
Here is the pass over the middle through the hands of the intended receiver.
Incomplete from Washington Ford.
For the intended receiver, and it will be 4th and 5 with 1:16 remaining in the first half. Highland's got 2 timeouts. It looks like their play calling was basically, let's not give it back to them minimum. 4th and 5 from the 32. And this is big also because, as we pointed out, we'll get to that in a moment. Receivers out to the left and right. 4th and 5. Now man comes in motion, and it's him, Olsen, around the right side to the 30, fighting his way, and will be. Does he have it?
Yeah, the white hat signals first down.
First down. A big Iron Realty first down and a big first down there. Sticks move with 1:08 remaining in the first half. And Highland leading 22-6.
Yeah, there's really no real urgency, and right as I say that, Highland breaks the huddle quickly.
Needed 5, got 7. Low snap, picked up by Washa, rolls to the right side, takes off with it, and goes down. Welsh makes the tackle. It's a gain of about 4.5. Just outside the 20-yard line, and if you've got 2 timeouts, use one of them, and Highland does that with 42 seconds left in the first half until the McNett Electric halftime report. And, you know, basically, given how the game started, you kind of felt like this would be about a 50-0 game right now. That's not how it's worked out.
Yeah, by this time last week when we were calling the game against Monticello, we were in a running clock, and we wrapped up our post-game coverage shortly after 9 o'clock. It is 8:18 right now, so we still got a ways to go, and obviously, you know, Williams Bay is still very much in this game, and if they can hold Highland, and again, get an opportunity with the ball to start the second half and score, that makes this game a whole heck of a lot more interesting. But, you know, Highland has been in control of this game since the kickoff.
Except they haven't, so that's good. or they certainly haven't salted anything away. Community First Bank, if you're in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience for yourself the difference at CommunityFirstBank.com. Pass over the middle to the end zone for a touchdown. And Terrell makes the catch. And Highland once again converts on good field position, great field position. 36 seconds left in the first half. And another Northland Buildings touchdown. It is 28-6.
That's a big touchdown for Highland.
To get the momentum back. And, of course, Highland will go for 2. They have to this point. And they're 2 of 3 in Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra points. Nanke will be the running back behind Washa, and now Highland's going to call their last timeout.
Timeout for Highland.
Somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be, it would appear. Point and Flush Sportsman's Club bringing our extra points. They're guided upland bird and waterfowl hunts with friends and family will create memories that will last forever. Make your best shot with Point and Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. And by the way, their dogs are cute.
Yes, they are.
3-4.
They sell hunting dogs.
3-4. Winner will receive $94 and to be claimed at this.
Yep, saw them at the Queen Bee Radio Home and Outdoor Show back in the springtime.
Yes, I do remember that. I was told that they did and hadn't heard anything and or hadn't seen them, but now obviously we have. And they were really, you could tell they were really nervous about being there, couldn't you?
Oh my goodness, yeah. not enough kids and people there loving up on those dogs. Yeah.
And they're just kind of lying there. It's like, okay, yeah, cool, fine. Here is the 2-point conversion attempt. And Washer around the right side. Somebody didn't move there. Washer runs it in and will be short. And that didn't work right because it was pretty obvious that some of the Cardinals didn't know what the snap count was. So it is still Highland 28, Williams Bay 6 with 36 seconds remain in the first half. I wouldn't think that's how it was designed. There was a snap, Washer took off, nobody else moved, and
yeah, something definitely didn't look right. And early part of the season, you still might see mistakes like that. You'll see them quite a bit in week 1, maybe occasionally in week 2, but those are kind of things execution-wise that will just drive a coach nuts.
Well, they're points of emphasis for next week.
Definitely.
Of course, that next week starts the conference games, although not with 8-player because they already played a conference game last week. 8-player is using the new playoff system that everybody else is, the Matrix. But the other thing is the playoff field has been expanded to 32, which makes sense because, number one, the number of 8-player teams is growing, and number two, it's 32 for each of the 7 11-player divisions. Here's the kickoff. And bounced and fumbled and picked up. And Welsh with a kickoff return up to the 28-yard line with 29 seconds left in the first half. Bulldogs do have one timeout left. Whether they have enough time to use it is another subject. And it's spotted at the 28.
Well, we've seen Williams Bay be very pass happy in this first half too, so I would imagine they might try and take a shot or two just with the amount of time that they have. They've got that one timeout in their back pocket. Maybe target the sidelines, get some chunk yards.
2 running backs. Back to pass is Perez. Throws to the right side. It's a screen. And caught and up to the 36-yard line for a short gain, and the clock runs. Diaz makes the catch. He's the guy that had the touchdown. And the clock stops after a 6-yard gain.
And Diaz might be down.
Well, that would be a problem, certainly, if trying to down 9. There is an injured player for Williams Bay on his knees, and can't tell from here who it is. The clock stops with 14 seconds left in the first half. And a 28-6 Highland lead. And today's game is brought to you by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim during the game a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Also brought to you by West End Salvage in Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Krantz of the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste to West End Salvage in Lancaster. Second down, about 4 yards to go, and the clock runs. One more play, and run, and up to the 50, and still going, and then pulled down from behind. And that was Robbins on the carry and pulled down. Otherwise, that could have been 6, but that ends up at the 46-yard line of Highland. But before that, the clock ran out, and so we have reached the end of the first half. Highland 28, Williams Bay 6. McNett Electric halftime report after these messages on X1071.
Halftime, 3 minutes.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Doug Dolter with Dubuque Mattress. Mattresses are not something that you should have to unbox and set up yourself. Frankly, they're cumbersome. That's why at Dubuque Mattress, we deliver, set up, and get rid of the old mattress for you. And it's not just for people in Dubuque. We deliver just about anywhere. Chicago, Des Moines, Minneapolis, Kansas City, or anywhere in between. So, when it's time for you to get a new mattress, let Dubuque Mattress take care of all of it for you. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
Oakview Group is now hiring. They're looking for an operations manager at Five Flags Center to assist with planning, budgeting, day-to-day responsibilities, and keeping Five Flags events on track. Oakview Group is also looking for maintenance technicians for both Five Flags and the Grand River Center to handle preventative and corrective maintenance and to make sure every show and event goes off without a hitch. Apply today and see all their open positions at fiveflagscenter.com.
I'm here today with Nick Heston from Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque. Nick, it seems like hybrids are dominating the roads, but there aren't many charging locations in Dubuque.
Agreed. Luckily, Toyota hybrids don't require plug-in charging. The Toyota hybrid system is built to charge while the vehicle is being driven, so there is no need for plug-in charging.
That's awesome. But what about the battery life? Should people be worried about its longevity?
Not at all. Toyota has sold over 5 million hybrids in the last 25 years. Plus, their battery warranty covers you for 10 years or 150,000 miles.
How does regular maintenance on a hybrid compare to a gas model?
Toyota hybrid vehicles require the same maintenance as gas-powered models and oftentimes even less. For example, the hybrid model's regenerative braking charges the battery while slowing down the vehicle, increasing the life of the vehicle's brake pads.
Wow, it seems like there's a lot of benefits in choosing a hybrid Toyota. Visit Anderson Weber in Dubuque to learn more and take a test drive today.
The fresh new crop of apples is ready at Oakwood Fruit Farm. Stop by the bakery for warm apples, cider, donuts, flaky turnovers, take and bake pies, and homemade caramel apples, plus so much more. Fresh pressed cider and crisp tree ripened apples are perfect for snacking, cooking, and baking. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Located just south of Ithaca, east of Richland Center. Just follow the signs.
Oakwood Fruit Farms, that's the one for family fun. Oakwood Fruit Farms, that's the one for family.
Halftime, 3 minutes.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on 97.7 Country WGLR. Would you like me to shut your mic off for a second?
Oh, no, I think I'm good. I got
Okay.
this. Yep.
Time for the McNett Electric halftime report. For all your electrical leads, call McNett Electric in Belmont after we heard from our friend Phil Nee, the voice of Oakwood Fruit Farm. 28-6. Belmont in front. Highland in front. Highland in front of Williams Bay. I was thinking about something else, specifically on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. 8:46 left in the first quarter and no score. Miami and Wisconsin. That's Miami of Ohio, by the way. And that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. Miami of Ohio used to be known as the cradle of coaches many years ago because it seemed like a lot of Miami coaches ended up coaching much bigger time programs. And I think, for instance, Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler both were at Miami of Ohio. And so was at one point Dave McClain, the former Badger coach. But that's a side point. The main point here is that it's a 28-6 lead. This is, by the way, Parents' Night, as you probably can hear in the background. Well, we have the right game here. Okay, yes.
Coach Colton Frost.
First couple of drives resulted in Highland's case,
Coach John Ross,
an interception, but the defense for Highland was able to get a stop and then a couple of 3-and-outs, a 72-yard punt down to the 5-yard line. Kind of set up Highland. They were able, after a punt that was much shorter than that, they were able to get the football at the Williams Bay 27-yard line, and they needed just 2 plays for Kanan Washa to throw a 28-yard touchdown pass to Cooper Olson, and then Brady Nanke the 2-point run. And so the desired combination of Northland Buildings touchdown and Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra point made it 8-0 Highland with 6:15 remaining in the first quarter. That was a 41-second drive, by the way. And then after a punt, a touchdown by Washa was wiped out on a holding penalty, but that kind of just delayed things and took a touchdown run away from him. So he said, all right, I'll throw a pass. And it turned out to be a 43-yard touchdown pass to Olson, second of the game. That ended up being a 3-play, 64-yard scoring drive that took a minute 7. 2-point run short made it 14-0 with 3:36 left in the first quarter. And that was the first quarter score, 14-0. Highland over Williams Bay. And in the second quarter, Highland actually got off on their longest drive of the game, but it didn't end up any points. They got it from the 17 all the way to the Williams Bay 13-yard line, but was 12-yard line, but they were unable to get the touchdown. However, that pushed Williams Bay back, and a 3-and-out gave Highland the ball at the 17-yard line. And that ended up being, I think it was Washa. I wrote a number that's not on the program, so I think that was Washa running an old 17-yard touchdown around the right side. And then Nanke's 2-point run made it 22-0 Highland. That was a 7-second drive. I can tell right now that we're going to have difficulty with driving the game tonight. Then Williams Bay held on downs, kind of an interesting decision to go for it at your own 34-yard line. Highland again had they went from the 35 down to the 15, but unable to get it there. And then the only score of the game for Williams Bay to this point, okay, you're stuck back at the 15, get a 4-yard run, and then launch it down the field. And it was Perez to Diaz for 81 yards to make it 22-6 with 2:49 left in the first half. However, that turned out to be enough time for Highland. I guess this is, it was 37 yards in 6 plays And that scoring drive took, how's your math there, Steve? Not good. 2 minutes and 13 seconds, I believe that was. Touchdown pass to Jack Terrell this time for 21 yards. The run was short, and that is where we sit right now, 28-6, Highland leading Williams Bay. And it's just kind of weird. You know, they've got this long drive that ended in nothing. All of their scoring drives have been quite short.
I mean, a 22-point lead is still a big lead in football, but it does feel like that Highland should probably be have a much bigger lead, you know, at the half, just with the way that they've controlled the ball and controlled the pace of the game through one half of play. And I think there's a lot of things that obviously Highland is going to be very satisfied with, as far as, you know, being able to, you know, put up 28 points in a half against a Williams Bay team that obviously scored quite a bit in their game on Saturday. So there's definitely things to like if you're on the Highland side. And I think really more impressively too is the Highland defense, just because of the fact that, you know, you've held an explosive Williams Bay team to just 6 points in that first half, and really, what is it, 3 explosive plays really that, you know, resulted in, you know, chunk yardage or resulted in a touchdown. So
just the one, 81 yards.
Yeah,
The other two, they were unable to convert.
Yeah, nothing came of those, fortunately for the Cardinals. But, you know, I'm really impressed with Highland's defense, the way that they were able to clamp down. Obviously looked the part against Monticello last week in the first half when the starters predominantly played. Again, the halftime score last week against Monticello, 46-0. So the Highland defense really, really impressive, you know, so far as well. I'm very curious to see what adjustments Williams Bay makes, though, in the second half, because they obviously want to go deep. They've been trying to throw it along the perimeter.
That's been very obvious.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, is there a running game that they're going to be going to, you know, in the second half? Because I have to imagine at some point the best way to keep Highland off the field is to stay on it. So you have to find a way to control the pace of the game a little bit more in your favor. Williams Bay does get the ball to start the second half. Curious, are they going to go deep right away and try and, you know, score fast and in a hurry, or are they going to be a little bit more methodical, kind of pick their spots and gradually move the ball down the field?
You would think that would be the case. The latter would be the case, because keep in mind, they don't have the depth that Highland has. They got guys that are playing both ways, and it's harder to play defense physically than offense.
Yeah, and it did feel early on it was kind of a trench warfare kind of game before Highland got on the board. And, you know, I think as the game goes on, you know, if you're on offense and you're, you know, dictating the pace, there's only so much that you can take. You know, you're eventually going to get worn down. You know, regardless if you're, you know, on the offensive line or defensive line, you're going to get hit regardless. But, you know, when you're the one doing the hitting as opposed to getting hit.
Yeah. you do kind of feel like Highland, conversely, might be, you know, all right, let's slug this out.
Right.
That, you know, we got a 3-score lead. We know that they're tired because we've been banging it on them all night. So let's finish them off basically on the ground.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Highland has to be satisfied with where they're at in the first half, having a 22-point lead going into halftime. I think if you know, ask Coach Scanlon, you know, having a 3-score lead at halftime is definitely something that you want to have, just kind of given the level of competition that you're facing this week comparatively to Monticello from the week before. But again, I think the Millie's halftime fix, a lot of it has to come on the Williams Bay side of it, obviously being down 3 scores, but it's what does Williams Bay have to do to stay on the field? You can't give Highland excellent field position going for it on 4th and short. You have to be able to have those conversions and be able to stay on the field and not let Highland continue to dictate the pace of this game.
And as Tyler skillfully pointed out, the halftime fix is brought to you by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville. Stop in and see what they are fixing for you. Certainly penalties have not helped things either for Highland. They've admittedly, the one just kind of delayed, not denied, but it seems like that there's still some issues with that. Well, so 2 days ago it was the Inferno Burger at Millie's.
Ooh.
interesting. And they had peaches and cream French toast and a patty melt. Wow, that sounds all good.
Definitely down for the Inferno Burger.
Well, that depends what you're doing afterwards, doesn't it?
It does, and who you're around. I will say that. It's a long car ride from Dickeyville to Bagley, I'll say.
Halftime, 28-6. Highland leading Williams Bay. We're going to try to recover in the next minute. Back after this on X107.1.
In Game 6.
Oakview Group is now hiring. They're looking for an operations manager at Five Flags Center to assist with planning, budgeting, day-to-day responsibilities, and keeping Five Flags events on track. Oakview Group is also looking for maintenance technicians for both Five Flags and the Grand River Center to handle preventative and corrective maintenance and to make sure every show and event goes off without a hitch. Apply today and see all their open positions at fiveflagscenter.com.
Kranz Hardware Do-It-Best's new location is now open in Fenimore at 280 Lincoln Avenue. Your full-service hardware store offers even more, from Milwaukee and DeWalt tools to Valspar paint, plumbing, housewares, key cutting, and more. Lawn and garden covered. Electrical and fasteners, absolutely. Come see Kranz Hardware Do-It-Best at their new location. The new Kranz Hardware Do-It-Best. Open Monday through Friday 7 to 6, Saturday 8 to 4, and Sunday 10 to 2. In Game 6.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football on a Thursday night on 97.7 Country on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. 28-6. Highland leads Williams Bay at the half. Also, on the Shoebox Scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. The Badgers have scored a field goal, 3-0 Wisconsin, 99 seconds left in the first quarter, and that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. That's why I misidentified our station, because I was thinking, I got to do the Badgers score. But instead, we're on the X. Tomorrow on the X, Platteville at Mineral Point, on 97.7 Country WGLR, Cuba City and Lancaster, and on Super Hits 106. Fenimore at River Ridge, all three games on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. I guess Fenimore and Ridge could also be last year's baseball conference champs, conceivably.
Yes, River Ridge conference champion in the Six Rivers West with Belmont last year, and I have to say, I'm very, very curious about the Fenimore football team this year. Their JV team was undefeated last year, and obviously you know the athletes from the Fenimore baseball team going to state, and many of them playing football as well. Coach Brent Scheckler, an assistant coach on the football team as well. So, I definitely think the Fenimore football program's on the up and up. We'll have them against River Ridge, obviously, tomorrow night. And then they also have the matchup with Darlington that we'll have on X1071 a few weeks from now as well. So,
and then also Cuba City, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So, looking forward to seeing the Golden Eagles football team. Very, very high on them in this year's campaign. And obviously they've got some players that'll be in the program for a couple more seasons as well, just given the makeup and the composition of the team.
Yes, 28-6. Highland leads Williams Bay. We'll be back with the second half after these messages on X1071.
In Game 7.
Hi, this is Christine Raleigh of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
Show your school spirit with every swipe. People's State Bank offers debit cards featuring your local school's mascot. And now through September 30th, you can upgrade for 50% off. Even better, $5 from your card fee goes right back to your school. It's an easy way to support your team and look good doing it. Visit any People's State Bank location to upgrade your debit card today. Iowa sales tax may apply to fees and service charges. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
In Game 7.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. A pleasantly cool night, I think Harry Carey would have called this if this were a baseball game at Wrigley. At a 28-6 Highland lead over Williams Bay. The temperatures dropped to 67 degrees. It's actually going to be a little cooler tomorrow night, it sounds like, for our trio of games. Platteville and Mineral Point on X1071, Cuba City at Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR, and Fenimore at River Ridge on Super S 106.
Ideal football weather, I think, especially given the time of the year. You know, this is that time where it's crisp. It's not uncomfortable, but definitely starting to feel a little bit more like fall. And, you know, with school going back into session, some schools already back in session now, some of them even starting today, I believe. So
yeah, the majority will start Tuesday, of course.
Right.
A few who did start, I think they had fast start at Platteville High School today, if I'm not mistaken about that. It's hard for me to keep track in a sense because I don't have kids in a high school anymore. But
yeah, my kids had open house last night at their school and got their backpacks there, their desks all set up, and hopefully they're ready to learn. We'll see.
On the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest, 3-0 Wisconsin over Miami of Ohio after a quarter on 97.7 Country WGLR. Earlier today, Brewers lost to Arizona 6-4. That was on AM 1590 WPBL, and undoubtedly the loss was because my wife wasn't there. She was there Tuesday. A friend of hers won free tickets. I think that was a pretty good choice because that was one crazy game on Tuesday with Brewers having a big lead, blowing it, but coming back to win in the bottom of the ninth. I think I read that was their 10th walk-off win of the season.
Yeah, and Brewers baseball, what a summer that's been. I mean, you know, I aside from what happened on the day that Bob Uecker was celebrated for his celebration of life, that was this last Sunday or the Sunday before. Outside of that, it's been a sensational run for the Brewers baseball team this summer.
You know, it's funny you bring that up, though, because somebody, because they were not happy with how that game went, made some comment about how, you know, teams underperform at these big sorts of things. They're from Wisconsin, which is, you know, okay, that can be like complaining. But as I think about it, in Madison, for instance, Barry Alvarez's last home game was a loss. The game where Mike Leckrone, the 50-year band director for Wisconsin, his last game, that was a loss. I don't know that there's really something to that, but that's just kind of how things have worked out. Second half kickoff is returned to the about the 27-yard line. 7 seconds into quarter number 3. And I have to think this is a big series for Williams Bay, and therefore a big series for Highland's defense.
Well, it's a question of what does Williams Bay decide to do here, because we've seen them try and go deep with the passing game. It hasn't really accounted for too much except for the one touchdown that they got late in the second quarter.
Yeah, they really abandoned the running game in the second quarter, didn't they? Other than kind of like here and there, basically. See what they do about it in this second quarter. 2 running backs next to Perez, and Perez hands it off and around the right side. Well, maybe that's one reason they lose the guards back to the 22-yard line. Robbins, one thing about Highland, you pointed out that their defense kind of more impressive than their offense in this game. They've really gotten great stops.
And they've been swarming defenses too, just getting to the ball really quick. It seems like there's 2 or 3 players on the ball each and every play.
Apparently they gave Robbins forward progress to the 24, so it's a 2-yard loss instead of a 4-yard loss. Again, the 2 running backs, receiver out to the right side. And a run up the middle to about the 26 or 27-yard line for Robbins. And it'll be 3rd down, 9 yards to go coming up. From the 27-yard line. Our game brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in a Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com.
Yeah, we mentioned Colton Whaler coming out on these 3rd downs, and you see number 15, Griffin Wineski, lining up in the defensive tackle spot.
3rd and 9, and Perez to pass. And throws it over the middle, and it's caught at midfield. And it's the catch made by Diaz. And apparently he's okay after he got hurt near the end of the first half. The ball to the Highland 49-yard line, 1st and 10. I couldn't tell his number for a moment because it got kind of twisted on his jersey. It looked like a 2. No, that's not 2. So, but a great catch by Diaz. And a big Iron Realty first down for Williams Bay.
And most importantly, extends the drive for Williams Bay, too. They really want to get something going and have a more methodical drive, not having to rely on explosive plays.
Diaz now goes out to the left side, and a receiver over to the right. And again, the 2 running backs. Now Perez throws and way over the intended receiver. He was thrown to the first down marker, but that's not where Diaz was. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. We're brought to you by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Cardinal red, Timberwolves purple. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. I can hear them saying, we don't have purple. But they can figure it out, I bet. 4 wide on 2nd and 10 from the 49. Perez throws right and short of the intended receiver. And that was actually closer to Washa than the intended receiver, Henry. 3rd and 10. Our game also brought to you by West End Salvage in Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Krantz and the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste to West End Salvage in Lancaster. 3rd and 10 from the 49 of Highland. The running backs kind of switch around now. And a receiver out to the left side. And the handoff up the middle. And a gain of about 3. It looked like when it started, that play, it looked like he was going to get more than that. Welsh, but it ends up only a 3-yard gain down to the 46. It'll be 4th and 7. Again, the Highland defense closed quickly there.
Yeah, Highland closed quickly, and again, the situation for Williams Bay, not having a lot of success in the early down, setting up a 3rd and long, and looks like they're going to line up to go for it on 4th down here.
Well, if they did from their own 34, you would think they would from beyond midfield. 4th and 7 from the 46. Perez under pressure and through the hands of the intended receiver, Henry. And I'm not sure he would have gotten the first down anyway, but it's a moot point now. Highland takes over at their 46 after the defensive stop. 8:52 left in the 3rd, 28-6 Highland.
Yeah, I think that route was meant to go closer to the first down 6 than what was showing up on the field. And I don't know if the quarterback was pressured. I was paying closer attention to the ball than what was going on with the quarterback in the backfield. But Highland able to turn them over on downs and an opportunity to extend their 22-point lead.
Cardinals take over at the 46. One running back, Nanke. And he gets the ball up the middle, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, and into the end zone. Nanke blew right up the middle, 54 yards on the first Highland play of the third quarter. That took 13 seconds to make it 34-6 on the Northland Buildings touchdown.
And this time on the ground, too, for the running back. And once he got into that second level, he just had to turn on the jets and just outran everybody into the end zone. An impressive run there.
Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra point. The Cardinals 2 of 4 in 2-point conversions in the game to this point. Two receivers will go to the right, one to the left. That's Olson. I think that's Terrell and Zadrazil to the right side. And it's Nanke getting the ball. Keeper for Washoe. Dives for the end zone and does not get it.
2-point conversion is no good.
And so Highland has to settle for 6, and the Cardinals lead the Bulldogs 34-6 with 8:43 left in the third. Back after this on X1071.
In Game 8, the fresh new crop of apples is ready at Oakwood Fruit Farm. Stop by the bakery for warm apples, cider, donuts, flaky turnovers, take and bake pies, and homemade caramel apples, plus so much more. Fresh pressed cider and crisp tree ripened apples are perfect for snacking, cooking, and baking. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Located just south of Ithaca, east of Richland Center. Just follow the signs.
Oakwood Fruit Farms, that's the one for family fun. Oakwood Fruit Farms, that's the one for family.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Following Brewers Sunday home games, all kids ages 14 and under can come down to the field and run the bases at American Family Field, courtesy of Aurora Healthcare. The post-game Kids Run the Bases line begins along the first base line on the field level. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
In Game 8.
The kickoff is returned by Henry, who ran out of bounds immediately at the 37-yard line, and that is where Williams Bay takes over. 8:40 remaining in the third, and Highland now leading 34-6. And maybe a little early to say this, but if the Cardinals get a touchdown and convert the Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra point, we'll be in running time. Kind of doesn't feel that way, but that's what the scoreboard says. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC.
And Williams Bay taking a timeout.
That is the second one that they have taken out in this game at the very beginning of a series. That's not what you want to do, obviously. We're brought to you by Northland Buildings. For a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, when you are ready. Clare Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. And Russell Law Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Basketball advice is free, by the way. 1st and 10 from the 37. Perez throws deep, but short of the intended receiver. That has not happened very much tonight. Henry, the intended receiver, and he actually ran past the ball, incomplete. Perez obviously has an arm. We've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that tonight. Second down and 10 from the 37. Second quarter in Madison. Badgers leading 3-0 with 11:09 left in the first half over Miami of Ohio. 97.7 Country WGLR. Second and 10. Perez to the left side. Pass is caught and spun down after a gain of 5. Welsh makes the catch. That'll make it 6 to the 43, and it'll be third down and 4.
Yeah, for Williams Bay, they have not had a lot of opportunities to get behind these Highland defenders, and if they do catch it out in the flat or on these little short routes, there's 1 or 2 Highland defenders there to make the play.
Third and 4. The pass to the right side is caught right at the midfield stripe. Flags go down, and I'm not sure this is going to catch. Welch makes the catch, but it's wiped out on a holding penalty, so that'll push him back to the 33 and turn a first down into 3rd and 14.
Which any penalty hurts, but when you get a penalty, when you convert a first down and put yourself in 3rd and long, definitely less than ideal.
Yes. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros of Brian's get the job done right for unexpected dings or coughing, unexpected dings, or major repair projects. Head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. 3rd and 14 now from the 33. Again, the 2 running back look. Here's the pitch to Robbins, and that's not going to get anything. A gain up to the 37 is it. 4 yards when they needed 14.
Cooper Olsen on the tackle and sealing the edge, and yeah, once again, on the outside, there's no room to run on the outside. You see the Highland defenders closing in real quick, and passing game, the defensive backs holding the receivers in check for the most part. Just an all-around outstanding defensive outing by the Highland Cardinals here tonight.
Well, and you can tell this team has amazing team speed. I don't think you see this kind of team speed at the 8-player level very much. Here's the punt, and not the deep punt. Olsen makes the catch at the 41, fair catch.
Tried to draw fair catch interference, but no flag thrown.
That's a 22-yard punt. And with 7:41 remaining in the third, and Highland leading 34-6, they will take over for the second time in the second half. The first was the old one-play 54-yard scoring drive, Yankees touchdown run. McDonough Electric in Belmont can assist you with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McDonough Electric are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McDonough Electric in Belmont. Also, Breckler Insurance Group for all your insurance needs. See Steve Lindusky at Breckler Insurance in Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. 1st and 10. And Nanke is hit immediately, gained a yard to the 42-yard line. Second down, 9 yards to go.
Thank you on the run. First contact was by Robbins.
Second down, 10 yards to go. They actually didn't give him any yardage at all.
Okay, it'll be 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, ball on the near side hash mark at the 41. Receivers left and right and 1 running back. That's basically the formation they use the whole game. The pitch to Nanke around the right side to the 45, and he is pulled down up at the 48 or 49, 48-yard line. So a 7-yard gain makes it 3rd and 3 coming up.
Tackle by DC and Robbins.
I definitely think we're going to see the Highland running backs getting a little bit more work here in the second half, not only just to preserve the health of the quarterback and the receivers, but also just bleed out the clock and work their way down the field. You already have a sizable lead. Don't do anything that would jeopardize it.
6:25 remaining in the third. 34-6 Highland over Williams Bay. And the swing pass to the right side is caught. And through a defender, there goes Terrell. And Terrell steps out of bounds. Back at the 36 of Williams Bay, but that will be a Big Iron Realty first down.
Pass from Washer to Terrell. Stepped out of bounds.
That ends up being 16 yards for number 16. And the first down. Clock stops now with 6:13 left in the third quarter. Still 3-0 Wisconsin leading Miami of Ohio. 11:09 left in the third. 97.7 Country WGLR. I believe I know at least 3 people at that game, interestingly. 1st and 10, Nanke up the middle. Gets through a defender, runs into another defender, but keeps going, still going, and is down to the 26, 25-yard line. And that will be 11 and another Big Iron Realty first down.
And the player for each team down.
That had to be on the associated collision there. And we see DC Vanda Bogert is apparently one of them.
It appears to be a cramping issue for one of the Highland players. Can't see what number it is, though. Might be Nanke.
Well, he would be. He would have earned the cramps.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's been worked hard tonight. 6:06 remaining in the third, and Highland leading 34-6. Mount City Bank's Total Line of Credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. That is Nanke, and he's okay, looks like. You know, of course, what the best line of this song that they're playing on the PA, Don McLean's American Pie. Best line, the marching band refused to yield. The players tried to take the field. The marching band refused to yield. 1st and 10.
Spoken like a true band member.
That's right. 1st and 10 at the 25 of Williams Bay. And whistles all over the place. False start. Ben Ford in the game. Yeah, there'll be a legal procedure on the Cardinals. That's one of the few things, along with a couple of drives stalling out, that are kind of irritants on the part of the Cardinals. Of course, giving up one big play for a touchdown, but that's really been it tonight.
Yeah, and as we were mentioning before, you know, the pre-snap penalties, anytime those happen, those drive coaches nuts. They're maybe a little more forgivable in weeks 1 and 2, but you can't have those because, you know, it's not just the yardage, it's the momentum that gets disrupted.
1st and 15. Back at the 30-yard line. Wash over the middle, and Terrell was the intended receiver, but the defender was closer to the ball that time.
Yeah, the intended receiver was Zadrzil, and I don't know if he zagged when he should have zagged or what that was, but that was a dangerous pass. I watched at that time, miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
You're saying that Zadrzil either zigged when he should have zagged or zagged when he should have zigged?
One way or the other.
2nd and 15 back at the 30. That's kind of funny that happens with the player with the last name of Zadrzil, but 2nd and 15. These are the sorts of things that amuse us over the course of a long season. That and, you know, things like what's the best food at the school or the football field or whatever, or where you get to park, all those sorts of things. 2nd and 15 at the 30, and in Madison it might as well be Middleton, and they're going to go backwards again.
I don't know if someone got a head start or if someone just leaned back too early.
That'll make it 2nd and 20 back at the 35. Again, with it being 34-6, if Highland scores and gets the 2-point conversion, we'll be in running time. And, of course, win or loss, a 2.5-hour bus ride awaits Williams Bay. Although they were saying, actually, before the game, as long as that sounds, apparently they're not as long as some games they have. He said DeSoto was longer. That would make sense.
Right.
And they had a game, I think they said, in Door County. That was even longer than that. With teams playing 8-player, that's forced realignment of conferences and a lot more reasonable road trips as things turn out. 2nd and 20, Rasha will keep around the 35 to the 30. 25-20, 15-10-5 to the end zone. But on the backside of the play, a Pink's Automotive penalty flag.
Came in the secondary, likely in the area of a hold downfield.
And we'll see where this puts them. And apparently where the penalty flag was, they will not get even a first down out of this. The ball will be spotted back at the 40. So that ends up being a net 5-yard penalty because it was 5 yards downfield. However, this makes it 2nd and 25. And when you get to this point, the first down marker looks like a little speck out there from the line of scrimmage.
The only silver lining is that time comes off the clock on each of these plays, so they're getting more opportunities to run off the clock.
This is true. Receivers, 1 to the left, that's Ford, 2 to the right. And now one comes in motion, run around the left side and stacked up for a loss of a couple of yards. Terrell on the sweep attempt, but loses 2. Back to the 1 yard loss, back to the 41, and it's 3rd and 26.
Carmine Robbins for Williams Bay has had a really great game on the defensive side of the ball for Williams Bay. Anytime that there's a running play, he is one of the first players, if not the first player there to make the hit and able to read that jet sweep and get to Jack Terrell in the backfield to force the loss.
3rd and 26, back at the Williams Bay 41-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Nanke, the running back to pass his wash up. Now runs forward. Now throws it deep. He's got a man down there, and the catch is made. And that will be a first down. Zadrazil makes the catch. And it is a Big Iron Realty first down. And in the Bitech green zone, a Greenerway Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. The ball at the 10-yard line.
Just inside the 10 to make it 1st and goal.
And I'm sure Williams Bay did not have that in mind, but just demonstrates how dynamic Highland's offense is, that they're able to convert long 3rd downs. Receivers out left and right. Nanke behind Washa. That's been the case all night. And here is Olsen, lined up in the backfield. He comes forward and gains about 4 to the 5-yard line.
Olsen on the carry. Number 5, Robbins on the carry.
And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5 with 4:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
On the last play where they got the Big Iron first down, it was a great job by Washa. Pressure was coming from both sides, and he still found a way to step in, make the throw, and make an accurate pass with all that pressure coming at his face.
Well, you have to think, the running threat that he provides makes him a better passing quarterback also, because the other teams have to realize that he could always take off. 2nd and goal from the 5. Back to pass is Washa. Rainbow to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Zadrazil makes the catch in the near corner of the end zone. And And it is 40-6 with 3:28 left in the third. Northland Buildings touchdown, and now comes the Point and Flush Sportsman's Club 2-point attempt as we sit at a 34-point margin.
Highland will be going for 2 points.
And they'll go for 2 because they have gone for 2 all night. And I assume they went for 2 all last Thursday, right?
Yep, they do not have a field goal kicker. At least they don't have one listed on the roster, and obviously have not lined up for any field goals or extra points in either of their first 2 games of the season.
Washa with Nanke behind him. And here's Nanke around the right side, and he gets tripped up short of the goal line.
Actually, that's Olsen, and
Or
Olsen holding his knee now. That's not good.
No good. The score is now 40-6
So the run does not
in favor of Highland.
work, does not succeed, and so it is Highland 40, Williams Bay 6 with 3:28 remaining in the third quarter.
I think Olsen's been lining up in the backfield in place of Nanke, who was left the game earlier due to, looks like it was a cramping injury, and now looks like it was a non-contact injury, and Cooper Olsen in obviously a lot of discomfort here in the end zone.
Well, let's take a break. 3:28 left in the third. 40-6. Highland over Williams Bay. Back after this on X1071.
In game 9. Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
In game 9.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington. Family Dental and Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Cooper Olsen is leaving the field very gingerly. We hate to see that. 40-6. Highland leads Williams Bay with 3:28 left in the third quarter after the Northland Buildings touchdown, but failed Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra point. Here's a high bounce on the kickoff, and at the 25-yard line, doesn't go that way, and then tries the other direction, and Jacob Haynes doesn't gain anything more in that direction. So Williams Bay starts from the 27-yard line. Our game brought to you by Community First Bank. For you in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC.
It'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs on their own 27-yard line.
So it's first and 10 at the 27. With 3:21 remaining in the third. 2 receivers to the right, and for the first time in a while, Perez all alone in the backfield. Throws to the left side, pass is caught, and a short gain there up to the 34-yard line. Welch makes the catch. Welsh makes the catch. Up to the 34. Second down, 3 yards to go.
It'll be second down and 3 for the Bulldogs.
Receivers left and right, and only Perez in the backfield. Back to pass Perez. Has time, throws to the right side, but overthrows the intended receiver, Henry. And it'll be third and 4. You know, for a season that doesn't have conference changes, there's a lot that is changing in football this year, and it's really at the end of the season, obviously, with the new playoff system.
Yeah, and I think knowing what the matrix is and what teams have to do to improve their positioning in the seedings.
Pass to the left side on 3rd and 4, and the catch made by Haynes, and that will be a first down. A Big Iron really first down up to the 38, needed 3, got 4.
And a lot those changes that you were mentioning sparked by the confusion about how teams were seeded in last year's postseason because
confusion? That's a way to put it.
Confusion, anarchy, whatever you want to call it.
Travis Shamakary, 1st and 10 for the 38. Perez throws it, picked off, and that is going to be 6 points. Kaden Washa endangers his role in the quarterbacks union, but comes up with a pick 6 of about 35 yards. And we will be in running time the rest of the way with 2.5 left in the 3rd.
I call that quarterback on quarterback crime. That was not respectful of the opposing quarterback, but my goodness, once Washa got his hands on the ball, he showed that burst of speed.
Yeah, he looked like Al Harris against Hasselbeck, didn't he?
Did a little bit, definitely.
46-6, so we'll have running time after this. And once they come up with a 2-point conversion here, well, running time the rest of the way. I was going to say that they will bring some players off the bench, you would think, and I'm sure they will, but there's really not that many players to bring off the bench, it looks like. Here's the handoff up the middle, and the 2-point, the Point and Flush Sportsman's Club 2-point run is good. And that makes it 48-6.
Bryson Anke, the ball carrier that time to get it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
So there's 3 Yankees on this team. Was it Bryce or Brady?
That was Brady at Baker Barn.
Right.
Yep, number 23.
Okay. Well, he's had a big night tonight, obviously. He's a candidate either for MVP or scrapper of the game, which we will probably bring up in the 4th quarter. Highland 48, Williams Bay 6 with 2:30 left in the 3rd, and running time, obviously, the rest of the way. The thing that what I find fascinating about this whole the change in football, there was such screaming going on over just absolutely incomprehensible seeding decisions. The obvious one, Potosi-Cassville, undefeated. They beat 7 playoff teams, and they end up with a number 3 seed. That made no sense. And, how in the world Blackhawk Warren was a 6 seed, given that they're in 2nd place in the 6 Rivers, all of that. Kick is returned to the 40 and to the 50, and then cutting up down to the 35 and 34 yard line. And that's a very good kickoff return. Very good kickoff return for Jacob Haynes.
How about Ben Ford with the touchdown-saving tackle along the sideline?
But this will be the best field position that Williams Bay has had all night. At the Highland 34-yard line, clock running, 2 minutes left, inside 2 minutes actually. Wisconsin, by the way, still leading Miami of Ohio 3-0 with 1:01 left in the first half. 97.7 Country WGLR. Week from Sunday, by the way, Packer football hosting Detroit, 1 o'clock on 97.7 Country WGLR with the brand new Micah Parsons on the defensive line. Traded for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks. On the left side, Robbins running with the ball. Gets the first down, gets more than the first down, and a collision inside the 10-yard line, and it will be a Big Iron Realty first down. It's actually spotted at the 6-yard line. First and goal from there. 1 minute remaining in the third. Keep in mind that under the rules, when running time starts, it does not end. Even if a team is able to, if just hypothetically speaking, if Williams Bay got 6 scores, it's still running time.
Yeah, it only stops on
touchdowns.
Time. Yep.
Or timeouts, obviously. First and goal, runner to the left side for Robbins. And actually, that was not Robbins. That was Douglas Borowski.
Run by Borowski, tackled by
Gain for about a yard down to the 5. Second and goal from there. And will they get the play in? 3 seconds left, yes. Perez with a high snap again, and the throw to the right side, and that's going to be caught for a touchdown.
Perez to Borowski for a touchdown.
And Borowski gets the score. And that ends quarter number 3 on a Northland Buildings touchdown, except obviously they will go for 2. That makes the score 48-12. And they will go for 2 here. 2 receivers out to the right. And 1 to the left. And Perez by himself in the backfield. He rolls to the right. He tosses to the end zone, and it is caught for 2.
Perez to Henry for the 2-point
Henry
conversion.
makes the catch.
48-14.
And that makes it 48-14 after 3 quarters. Highland 48, Williams Bay 14. Fourth quarter after these messages on X1071.
In game 10.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Turbin Dodge salutes Katrina Carney, registered nurse at Medical Associates. Turbin will honor Katrina with a donation to NAMI of Dubuque. Visit turbindodge.com to nominate an area nurse. Thank you, Katrina, from Turbin Dodge in Dubuque.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
In game 10.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. On X1071, we start the fourth quarter 48-14. Highland in front. Once you start running time, it continues, and even though a team scores to make it less than 35 points.
Yeah, you can't score your way out of a running clock.
Meanwhile, in Madison, 14 seconds, speaking of jump around, 14 seconds left in the first half. Wisconsin 3, Miami of Ohio nothing on 97.7 Country WGLR. Suppose there'll be some complaining about that, about new offense, same results, or something like that. Kick is returned to the 45 into the 47-yard line. And Carter Riley is the runner there.
It'll be the Cardinals first and 10 on their own 46-yard line.
First and 10. First and 10. And the clock is indeed running. The clock is not running. I wonder if the officials know that it's supposed to run. Well, my understanding was that once running time starts, it is. What if they change that rule?
Second, third quarter, it's still 10 go on.
Well,
Technically, it went off at the end of the quarter.
clock is not running. It's 1st and 10 for the 46.
Let's see if they start running.
And a run up the middle and thrown down at the 47-yard line after about a 7-yard gain there.
Brady Nanke back in the game now for Highland.
Well, the clock's running because the play was inbounds down to the 45 or down to the 47-yard line. But as far as we mentioned, the playoffs go, for those who don't know, the first thing, and a thing they certainly could have done before this, is before the season they figured out who would be in Division 1 through 7. And a loss of yards there. And the new quarterback is Trapper Hoffman, who is a freshman and immediately a potential member of the all-Maine team in Southwest Wisconsin for football. Oh, speaking of which, I'm a little bit surprised, Tyler, that you didn't ask me this question. We'll get you the question in a moment here. As it's 3rd and 5 from the 49-yard line, and Hoffman hands it off, and Nanke is going to, well, tries to get out of it, but gets thrown down basically at midfield for a yard loss. It'll be 4th down and 5 coming up. The question, Tyler, is, Steve, what is the Steve's High Five?
Oh, yes.
This week?
Yeah.
Brought up a year ago. I actually, as I did this, I forgot to make a change on it because I just decided off the top of my head to flip number 1 and 2. So far, Darlington number 1, Potosi Cassville 2nd, Blackhawk Warren 3rd, Lancaster 4th, and tied for 5th, Seneca Wazeeka Steuben and River Ridge. Seneca Wazeeka Steuben, that was some of a surprise. Problem with the play, and however, a run up the middle, that's going to be a 1st down. Down to the 35-yard line. And there was confusion on the play, but the broken play turns out to gain 15 and a Big Iron 1st down. Big Iron really 1st down to the 34.
Hoffman tried to hand it off to the right side, but the running back was on the left side of the formation, so he tried to hand the ball off to nobody, but was able to turn that into something. And we did get to see him in the second half against Monticello last week, and this freshman, he's a gamer for Highland, not only as the quarterback, but he had some nice pass breakups playing in the linebacker position for Highland last week as well.
6 carries for 30 yards and a 1 pass for 35 last week. 1st down pass is behind the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. 9 minutes left in the ball game. Again, we'll have Cuba City and Lancaster tomorrow on 97.7 Country WGLR. Platteville and Mineral Point tomorrow on X1071. And Fenimore and River Ridge tomorrow on Super It's 106. All games starting 6:30-ish at All Games on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Low snap on 2nd down, and Hoffman discovered what being a quarterback can be like. He is the victim of a Subs.com sack. And a loss of 6 back to the 40-yard line, 8:46 remaining.
Everybody wants to be a quarterback until it's time to do quarterback stuff.
Yeah, including the stuff that might hurt. So it's 3rd down and 16 to go. And Highland, for obvious reasons, are just, well, Hoffman didn't have the play yet, now he does, but Highland, for obvious reasons, is not going to run quick plays here the rest of the way. Nanke, the running back, behind Hoffman. On 3rd and 16, he fumbles it, picks it up, and will end up being thrown down at midfield. And that's an additional loss. And Highland will be punting. with 8:02 remaining. Another Subs.com sack. The ball back to the Highland 49-yard line, and Jason Scanlon talking to his freshman quarterback.
I think more than anything else, just keep the play in bounds to let the clock run. Obviously, he ran to the sideline and tried to make something happen, but clock was stopped momentarily, and now we're back to 7:50 and running.
And looks like they're going to run a play here. And it's a pitch to Nanke to the 45 to the 40-yard line, and that will end that drive. And Williams Bay will take over with 7:35 remaining and a 48-14 Highland lead. Highland has, they have maybe the game of their season coming up. They will be at Belmont next Friday. That's a huge game.
Belmont next Friday, and then the game against North Crawford on homecoming. That is going to be a monster game.
Yes.
With likely conference implications. And we will also have Highland on a Thursday night down the season against DeSoto. Looking forward to seeing that one as well.
Are you looking forward to seeing the game or the pit?
Yes.
The pit in DeSoto is, if you've never been there, one of the more unique, maybe the most unique field in southwest Wisconsin. I've done one game there. One word, deer. Run play up to the 46-yard line. Gate of 5, second down, 5 yards to go. I think it was Anders Olsen maybe running the ball there. Second down, 5 yards to go.
Yeah, the thing about the Ridge and Valley 8, it looks like all the teams that kind of had down seasons are certainly improving. A lot of key returners back. Saw Belmont last week, and
they look
how good
really
they were.
good against Wisconsin Heights. The throw to the left side, pass is caught, and that is Borowski making the catch, and he evades defenders and gets down to the 41-yard line. And that will be a Big Iron Realty first down.
I think most people think North Crawford is the team to beat in the top of the conference this year, and DeSoto always a team that finds themselves in the mix for postseason contention.
Andrew Nichols is in at quarterback now. He's a lineman, believe it or not, otherwise. He rolls to the right. He looks and he slings it to the left side, and a catch coming. Oh, incomplete. I thought he caught it. At the 29-yard line, the receiver had to come back to get it, Borowski, but it is well, it's incomplete. The chain gang took off, and they got to go back. 6:14 left.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
I think my display is stuck, but I'm pretty sure it's gone to halftime in Madison. 3-0 Wisconsin over Miami of Ohio on 97.7 Country WGLR. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. On 2nd and 10 from the Highland 41-yard line. Low snap. Nichols takes off with it to the 35, to the 30, down the sideline, and brought down, but it'll be another Big Iron Realty first down to the 27-yard line. And, the one trend that I think I have seen so far with football in 2025, check your watch. Long games. 5:53 remaining. 48-14. Highland in front. Nichols throws to the left side to the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Perez came back in and throws it to Henry for the touchdown. And 5:42 remaining, and it is 48-20. After the Northland Buildings touchdown, And now they'll go for the 2-point Point and Flush Sportsman's Club extra point, where the receiver out to the right side and back to the 2 running back look, which we saw for the first 3 quarters. Now Nichols to pass, and he throws it over the middle, and the pass is caught for 2. And that was Henry making the catch. And suddenly it's 48-22 with 5:42 remaining. Well, let's see here. We're still going to assume that this game is over at 48-22. So let's start with who is your most valuable player in the ball game? Which is, by the way, presented by Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Maine in Platteville. Hermson's will be the MVP for the next project in your home. Go to Hermson's Hardware, Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville.
I feel like we called Cooper Olson's name quite a bit tonight on both sides of the ball. We saw him catch at least 2 touchdown passes this evening and seemed to be in on the tackles, on especially on those outside runs that Williams Bay was trying to throw at him. So I think Cooper Olson is our Hermson's MVP of the game today.
All right. Then it is time to name the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game. It's the player whose hustle and scrappiness stood out in trying to lay the opponent to waste, presented by West End Salvage in Lancaster.
I will submit Brady Nanke. He was the workhorse, especially in the second half here, trying to bludgeon the defense and lead out the clock, and definitely the workhorse and a spirited reason for the scrapper of the game.
Exactly who I was thinking of. Great minds think alike. Here's the kickoff, which bounces around and is fielded at the 10-yard line. And trying to leap around a tackle. And that didn't work out so well for...
I think it was Ben Ford that was trying to clear a moving hurdle.
Yes. So Ford may end up looking for a track event, a jump event next year. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Trapper Hoffman, the freshman, in a quarterback. 5:38 remaining.
See, the thing about hurdling is that in football you have to do what Saquon Barkley does and do like a 180 turn.
Yes.
Have your back to the defender while hurdling him.
Yes. Drive of the game presented by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service, because at Les Mack you always get more from less. Well, this is a fun one to figure out. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, and a big run up there to the 40-yard line. Trapper Hoffman.
Nifty run by Trapper Hoffman.
And a first down up to the 42, a Big Iron Realty first down. The reason, of course, that it's hard to figure out what the drive of the game is because all the drives have been relatively short, and in some cases really short.
Well, I will combine the drive of the game with our Tricor turning point,
which is brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today.
We'll save it after this play.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 42. Hoffman with a running back. Receivers left and right, and a wing back on the left side. And up the middle goes Draves, and that's a first down. Well, except for the penalty marker. Bryler Draves, another Pink's Automotive penalty perhaps coming up. Bryler Draves, a freshman. And actually, this is going to add on to the run, a face mask penalty.
So the drive of the game and the turning point for me was the last touchdown to end the first half for Highland to make it a
heck issue with on the radio side. Oh, that's a good line. Second fumble, actually a dribble. Williams made limited math skills, but seems like we have a lot of points being scored this year so far. First and goal from the 7. And Nichols throws to the end zone, and it is intercepted. And that should take care of it. Bryce Bedward makes the interception, and that'll take care of it with 17 seconds remaining. 17 seconds left.
And now the stream's back up.
Okay, but are we on the radio? Because watch what happens when you hit. Oh, we have to get that back up? Oh, boy. 17. So one thing is working and the other isn't, and then it's switched, and now the other thing isn't working, but the first thing is. And that's going to be it. One way or another, our final score.
First and 10 for the Cardinals.
Now, apparently there was may have been a penalty afterwards, but at any rate, will be a kneel down, and that will take care of it. And there is the last play of the football game as Hoffman downs it. And in 10 seconds, the final score will be 54-22. Highland is now 2-0 with a huge game at Belmont next Friday. And as mentioned, 1-1 for Williams Bay with a game at Princeton Green Lake next week. 54-22. Highland beats Williams Bay. Edward Jones, the Reeves Wealth Management at Edward Jones postgame show after these messages on X1071.
Postgame 4 minutes.
Oakview Group is now hiring. They're looking for an operations manager at Five Flags Center to assist with planning, budgeting, day-to-day responsibilities, and keeping Five Flags events on track. Oakview Group is also looking for maintenance technicians for both Five Flags and the Grand River Center to handle preventative and corrective maintenance and to make sure every show and event goes off without a hitch. Apply today and see all their open positions at fiveflagcenter.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer? Can I make my site firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Krantz Hardware Do It Best's new location is now open in Fenimore at 280 Lincoln Avenue. Your full-service hardware store offers even more, from Milwaukee and DeWalt tools to Valspar paint, plumbing, housewares, key cutting, and more. Lawn and garden covered. Electrical and fasteners, absolutely. Come see Krantz Hardware Do It Best at their new location. The new Krantz Hardware Do It Best. Open Monday through Friday 7 to 6, Saturday 8 to 4, and Sunday 10 to 2.
The fresh new crop of apples is ready at Oakwood Fruit Farm. By the bakery for warm apples, cider, donuts, flaky turnovers, take and bake pies, and homemade caramel apples, plus so much more. Fresh pressed cider and crisp tree ripened apples are perfect for snacking, cooking, and baking. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Located just south of Ithaca, east of Richland Center. Just follow the signs.
Oakwood Fruit Farms, that's the one for family fun. Oakwood Fruit Farms, that's the one for family.
The Gifted Hands Thrift Store in Galena offers low-cost clothing and household goods to the public. Shop local and support individuals with disabilities served by the Galena Workshop. The thrift store provides paying jobs to many individuals and is a stepping stone for some to get a job in the community. Donated items are accepted at the workshop on Southwest Street in Galena, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m., except holidays. Gifted Hands Thrift Store at the Galena Workshop is open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays 9 till 1.
There are places, people, and conditions in this world that almost seem beyond hope. But not when Mercy Ships is there. Mercy Ships is a place restoring sight to the blind, happiness to the outcast, and joy to the brokenhearted. Mercy Ships is the reason why hope is now in sight. To learn more, go to mercyships.org.
RPG came through the belly of the aircraft. We don't talk about the female combat wounded. These are our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. Wounded Warrior Project came into my life and taught me how to stand back up and get back in the fight. The truth is, I think we all have this strength inside of us, but until you're tested, you just don't know it's there.
See how Wounded Warrior Project empowers women veterans like Beth by visiting woundedwarriorproject.org/empowerwomenvets.
Your high school postgame show is brought to you by Elena and Ben Reeves at Edward Jones, a financial service firm serving individuals and business owners.
Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Carey Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. 54-22. Did I write that down right?
Yes.
Yeah. 54-22. Highland with its second win of the season in as many tries. I can tell you what was easily the worst part of this game, and I think we just saw that. That was, of course, Highland's Cooper Olson, who went down with what appeared to be a knee injury. He was on crutches, and the whole team came over right after the game around him, and we certainly hope it doesn't look as bad. It isn't as bad as it looked like it was.
Yeah, we were just talking off air a little bit ago about Cooper Olson, and he had just recently had a procedure done on his knee and had suffered a knee injury during sports last year. And the unfortunate thing is that if this is a significant injury, you know, he's a senior, and you don't – there's never a good time to have an injury, especially a knee injury, you know, that we suspect that it's going to be the way that he was holding it after he tried to turn the corner on that two-point conversion earlier in the game. Your heart breaks for him because, you know, not only is football season over, you know, whether that be, you know, basketball or baseball, you know, that stuff is likely, you know, out of the mix as well. And that robs you of what would be a fantastic, you know, what's supposed to be the end of your high school career.
Yeah.
You never want to see it end like that. Again, it's kind of speculation at this point, but just given, you know, how he's wrapped up and the team coming to the sideline from what we can see, it sounds like it's
We certainly hope it isn't as bad as it looked like.
Right.
It was. Our thoughts certainly with Cooper and his family.
Yeah, it was a non-contact, you know, injury where, you know, you see those all the time, and, you know, he tried to turn on a dime and, you know, head towards the end zone on a two-point conversion and went to the ground and immediately knew that something wasn't right. And obviously he had a huge game for Highland here tonight with the 2 touchdown receptions and some significant tackles and plays on the defensive side of the ball as well. just a very, very tough thing to see for a senior and one of the better athletes on the Highland Cardinals football team and respective teams that he competes on during the year.
Yeah, it puts a pall on what otherwise was a game that Highland had some not great moments, but as we pointed out, their defense really was kind of the thing that really, other than giving up one play before the one long play, the touchdown, the defense was really, they basically took away Williams Bay's running game, and, you make a team one-dimensional. Perez was doing a lot of heaving it downfield, kind of hoping, basically.
Yeah, we saw them try and go deep and give Highland's defense a ton of credit here tonight. They were able to hold the passing game in check for the most part. Most of Williams Bay's points came in the fourth quarter when Highland decided to pull their starters. We had a running clock and things like that. So, give the Highland defense a ton of kudos here this evening. Highland essentially had the answer with the exception of, maybe a handful of plays. So, the defense is very much in check and in lockdown mode, and we'll see what the season has in store for Highland the rest of the way.
Particularly a huge game next week at Belmont. Meanwhile, on the we'll do that after the break, actually. 3-0. Now we're doing it now. The Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Badgers up 3-0 on Miami of Ohio. 7:53 left in the third on 97.7 Country WGLR. Maybe someone will score other than they could have borrowed a touchdown tonight. 54-22, Highland beats Williams Bay. We will wrap up the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management postgame show and the broadcast, tell you what is coming up this weekend. All that after this on X1071.
Postgame 1 minute.
Over 2.8 million Americans have served in our military since 9/11. Many have returned home with devastating injuries and few resources for them and their families. This is news correspondent Bob Woodruff. I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq in 2006. The military had my back that day, and they have each other's while serving. It's time we had theirs. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative. To learn more, go to gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Postgame 1 minute.
Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. 54-22, Highland the winner. I got that right?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to keep track after a while. But
Yeah.
We are joined now by Jason Scanlon, the Highland coach. Let's ask the first question. How's Cooper?
It didn't look good, but I don't really, obviously we don't know for sure what's going on there. Knee injury of some kind, but not really sure what that entails yet. So.
Well, our thoughts are obviously with Cooper and his family. That's something you never, ever want to see, certainly.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, as far as the game goes, you certainly demonstrated all the weapons that you have tonight. Cade Washa had a good game. Brady Danke had a good game. Spread the ball out to receivers.
Yeah, that's what our spread offense is about. We'd like to pride ourselves on being balanced, not just run pass, but spreading the passing game around to different receivers, different positions, make it difficult to defend. So I think we did a good job of that.
And independent of the late scoring and like 2 plays, your defense played quite well tonight.
Yeah, I think the defense is progressing. We got a lot of new guys there in different positions and different, just not a lot of varsity experience. So the more snaps they get, the better they're getting. They're really getting better.
Okay, now you have a huge game next week against Belmont. Belmont looks very good, or at least based on their first game, beating Wisconsin Heights quite handily. What do you feel like you got to do next week?
We're going to have to reshuffle the deck a little bit maybe here. So, but I think just continue to get better at what we're doing. I think our line play was better tonight than it was last week. Got some guys that aren't real experienced there, so we just got to keep on coaching them up. The run game was better, I think, overall tonight. They had to grind out some tough yards, and so I think the key probably offensively at least, I think you have to talk to Clint about the defense, but offensively is just keep being able to be balanced against Belmont, because that'll be a challenge. They have a very good team. So.
The other thing I would think is you did have a fair number of penalties tonight. The funny part about it is they kind of delayed, not denied scores, but certainly that's something every coach wants to clean up as the conference season starts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We got behind the chains a few times. Yeah, it was getting a lot of second and longs and third and longs, and then, it's just hard to be patient and try to work back to get in position to score. And some drives got stalled out, I think, by the penalties. But overall, I was pretty happy with how well they blocked. They put a lot of pressure on us. They put a lot of guys in the box and sent a lot of guys at it, the offensive line. And so it's a good test for our guys. And I think that overall we made a lot of good adjustments, and they got better as the game went on, I thought, our offensive line. So
okay, well, good luck against Belmont next week, and we'll see you for homecoming.
Yeah, it would be an exciting game next week. And
will the steak sandwiches be there, though?
I sure hope so. They usually are. So.
That's the reason we come here.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, thanks for covering us, guys. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
You bet.
Nice win for you guys. Highland, the winner tonight, 54-22 over Williams Bay, and the Cardinals are 2-0, and now the internet is collapsing because they're seeing us. but it was certainly, the Highland, boy, it's got to be tough to play defense against Highland based on what we've seen the last couple of games.
Yeah, and the last game against Monticello, let's put that into context where, Monticello is starting a football program from scratch. They're in their second year, and I believe Coach Smith last week said that there were 10 players on the team that had a year of football experience or less, not just varsity experience, like football experience in general. So, you expect that result last week to happen. This week, Williams Bay, a much better football team. Obviously, they had a blowout win, last Saturday, and the seemed like a much more even matchup here this evening. So, this I think is a much better barometer as to where Highland is at, and I think that they definitely have some positives and some momentum heading into a big conference game with Belmont next week. But of course, the question mark now is because if this injury with Cooper is as bad as we are anticipating that it's going to be, as Coach said, got to reshuffle the deck and kind of change things up offensively as far as what that attack is going to be. So
the good thing that Highland, however, does have is a fair amount of depth. The last couple of years, last year and this year, that's a good thing that, coaches never have enough depth, according to coaches. Now you're going to get a test, certainly, because somebody who wouldn't necessarily be in the lineup will certainly be in the lineup next week.
Yep, and depth and opportunity for someone else. One of the things that was interesting that Coach Sandlin mentioned last year was that when they made the switch from 11 to 8-player football, there were actually players that had to get less playing time because they would have been normal starters on the 11-player team, so they had to rotate players in. But
you only need 3 linemen instead of 5, for
right,
instance.
Exactly. So I think with this, especially at the skill positions, there's definitely talent there. There's a lot of great athletes on this team. It's just, what does that makeup look like? What does the dynamic look like offensively? And are there different wrinkles that they have to insert into their offensive attack going forward?
Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. 5:06 left in the third. 3-0 Wisconsin over Miami of Ohio on 97.7 Country WHR. The Brewers outscored them, or so far they have. Of course, the Brewers also lost today to Arizona 8-6. That was on AM 1590 WPVL. We will have more Brewers baseball tomorrow because the Brewers, as it turns out, are in Toronto, or will be in Toronto, They may be there now. 5:35 on Friday, 1:30 on Saturday, and noon on Sunday on AM 1590 WPVL. Tomorrow, also football. No surprise. Cuba City at Lancaster on 97.7 Country WGLR. Platteville at Mineral Point on X1071. Fenimore at River Ridge on Super Hits 106. All three games also on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, all starting up after 6:30. Tuesday also we have volleyball, Potosi at Belmont at 6:40 on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. RJ Osterhaus is our sports director. John Joseph is our program director. Johnny Page is our chief engineer. He fixes the stream when it's not working. We're certainly happy you came for this. Thanks to Lynn Mishik and the staff at Highland High School. Thanks to our sponsors who help us bring this game to you. And thank you for joining us. Granite Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors is a Queen Bee Radio Sports presentation on X1071 WPVL FM Platteville and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Highland is 2-0, 54-22 over Williams Bay. From the Ayers Furniture Best Seat in the House, for Tyler Dictatus, I'm Steve Prestigard. More Extreme Hit Music is next. We'll be back for more football tomorrow.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.